Good afternoon and welcome to Blacktown International Sports Centre for this second semi-final between the Sydney Swans and the Belconnen Magpies. Joining me for the broadcast of the North Eastern Football League second semi-final is none other than the local Sydney AFL broadcaster, Drury Forbes. Welcome to the program, Drury. Great to have you on board.
Great to be here, Brett, and should be a cracker today, shouldn't it? I mean, Belconnen, fantastic victory last week against Ainslie, and the Sydney Swans reserves, well, they've just been impressive. Both sides have been impressive all season.
Absolutely belies their positions 1 and 2 on the ladder at the end of the home and away season, Drury. You've been speaking to a couple of people on the way in. What did you find out for us?
Well, I can tell you that the bus driver, Phil, the bus driver who took Belconnen in from their team hotel this morning, said they were very switched on. They were all just listening to music. They're up for it today, Belconnen, so it should be a good clash. I think they're going to be ready to play the Swans today.
And of course, a big cheerio to all the Belconnen fans that are watching us live today on the big screen through their licensed club premises back there in Kippax. So welcome to all the fans. Let's hope you can get the Magpies home to victory. Of course, the Swans, the number 32, Lewis Jetta, out there for his first run for quite a few months. So it should be a scintillating game out here for all the fans of the NEAFL competition, Drury.
Oh, certainly. I mean, Lewis Jetta, he's got a lot to prove, hasn't he? Still a chance to be recalled for the Sydney Swans finals in the actual AFL. So expecting big things from Jetta this afternoon.
Yeah, I think he'll play about half a game, but I'll get a quick tip before we go on the umpires today. In the 31 is Aaron Langdon. The 34 is none other than the rookie listed Aaron Pauly, is going to do the first centre bounce, and of course number 32 is Matt Geister. So congratulations on these appointments. Plenty to play for, Drury. Grand final position up for grabs. Who's your tip quickly?
I'm going to go Belconnen. I think they might be a bit hungrier for this, Brett.
Okay, Swans for me as we go for the first bounce as Geister puts it down. It's Porter to do battle in the middle there against the Swans ruckman, but guess what? It's out towards Lexi Bennett. He's been a star throughout season 2013, and the umpire says, thank you very much, I'll have it. Not much happening in the first couple of seconds out here at Blacktown International Sports Park. As it's tapped away, it's brought out now towards the Swans as they clear it in. It's Geordie Harper who locks in hard for the Belconnen Magpies. Not really going anywhere. I think the umpire will have no alternative but to call it to himself, and that he does. Third ball up in about 30 seconds, so we're off to a cracking start here. Typical finals football. Ball's thrown up. It's Porter who gets the decisive tap down to Dean Towers. He's been a power of strength. There's the man we spoke about, Jetta, right on cue. Over to another superstar in Jed Lamb. Of course, the good thing last night with the Swans playing in their Friday night at the ANZ. Here's a holding the ball decision. Yes, Chris York, fresh off 5 goals last week, so York gets an opportunity for the Magpies for the first.
Yeah, Chris York lining up here. Great tackling pressure from Belconnen there. They really wanted to keep the ball in, and Jetta and the Swans just couldn't get in the way, and fantastic opportunity for Belconnen now. Chris York right on 50, lines up, looks good off the boot here. It's going to probably just fall short, and the Swans, they're going to attempt to clear it away now through Alex Brown, who gets a kick long. There's a Belconnen player and a Swans player going for the ball, and the boundary line's there if they want to use it, but well done by Belconnen. They move forward now. Ball picked up by Harper. Harper's tackled. There's Swans lurking, and they're going to come away through Lewis Jetta.
And Jetta, he gets it through to the middle of the ground. Running for him was Towers. It took a wicked bounce over to the form halfback in the competition, Ryan Turnbull. That'd be a clash of the speedsters, Turnbull and Jetta. Well, interesting to see if Jetta gets one of those trademark bounces down here at the centre wing as Belconnen bring it up through the centre and the ground, and he finds the former Sturt product in Josh Hegarty. Hegarty in the middle of the ground now makes a decision to come wide. He goes across to Cam Campbell. Of course, Cam Campbell, the general manager of the Belconnen Football Club, he's had an outstanding season. He's in rare form, is Cam Campbell. He's rarely gets beaten, does Cam Campbell, the number 12 for Belconnen. And over there towards that of, it is Porter, I think it was at. No, it wasn't. It's the 18 out there, which is not Shane Harris. I'm having trouble picking that up out there.
I think it might be Porter, Brett.
Yeah, out there it was Porter. So, and it's a free kick out there to Swans, and it's out to Spinks. Spinks over towards Towers. He's trailed there by Curtis. Did good work there as a good shepherd there put on by Campbell, and they come across to the impressive Jordan Harper. Harper at centre wing now goes out towards Des, the hard-working Des. He's closely followed by Jordan Lockyer, one of the form players for the Swans charge in season 2013. As Lamb puts it down there. Oh, great mark there taken by Jordan Weir.
Oh, great mark by Weir, and he's going to chip it forward now. Very smartly done. Dean Towers with the mark. As Towers, he looks to play off fairly quickly. It was a fantastic effort by Jordan Weir because he actually slipped over and still found enough time to regain his composure and take the mark before going to Towers. And Towers with a lovely kick forward. A lovely kick forward. That's their first mark inside 50 this afternoon for the Swans. And the Swans are going to have the first opportunity through Jed Lamb to kick the first goal here at Bankstown International Sports Stadium this afternoon.
Just a quick score coming out of Ainslie. We've got Ainslie, of course, the other semi-final. Ainslie 3-1-19, UWS 1-1-7. So a great start to the tricolours there at Ainslie Oval. As we ride that home with Jed Lamb, he makes no mistake, Drury.
Oh, speaking of great starts, fantastic finish there by Jed Lamb. He knew that was going to go through as soon as it came off the boot. And we saw York with an opportunity earlier for Belconnen. The Swans, they're certainly taking their opportunities in this first quarter.
That's the difference here, Drury, at this level, whereas you know you're playing the Swans, is they take their opportunities in front of goal. As you rightly pointed out, Chris York had an opportunity on 50, didn't quite make the distance. Jed Lamb on 50 makes the distance and gets their first score on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've probably got to play a little tighter, Belconnen, in defence there, just allowing a few short kicks as the Swans gradually crept closer to goal. Umpire to bounce. It's one straight kick, 6 to the Swans. Magpies yet to score. And a big hello to all the Belconnen faithful watching back in Canberra this afternoon as the ball goes towards goal for the Swans. It's a hot footy at the moment. Coming in for Belconnen was John Love, but the Swans are going to come away with it. I think it was Towers. Towers got the hand pass away and put straight in the kick, but Cam Campbell back there, solid as a rock for Belconnen.
Over to Ryan Turnbull. Turnbull looks there for Curtis. He's unlucky not to get a 50. The Swans player crept over the mark. He brings it across now towards Nick Collins, the impressive Nick Collins. The Belconnen youngsters combining well over to Jansen. Jansen to Love. Spots him up nicely. This is a good passage of play from Belconnen. So this kick, the one that they need to get out of trouble. Love. And he's turned it over there as he looks straight into the arms there of Lloyd Peris. Peris goes inboard, and this is the difference now. The Swans, through Jake Lloyd, he's been impressive through season 2013 as Jake Lloyd. Of course, the winner of today goes straight through to the grand final. Some suggest in the crowd that the Swans want to play next week to allow some of their big name players to get a game, and there's a second one on the board from the Swans out of the pack. That it is, and I think it was a quick goal to Thomas Green, the number 52 for the Sydney Swans. They're quickly piled on 2 goals, 0-12, leading the Belconnen Magpies yet to score, Drury.
Yes, absolutely. It's certainly taking their opportunities just around the corner there from Thomas Green. Easy as you like. Great start for the Sydney Swans reserves. And yeah, look, it is an interesting topic of discussion, Brett. I mean, there's a couple of senior Swans guys, the likes of Lewis Roberts-Thompson, and a couple of others that probably need an extra game next week. That would only happen, of course, should Sydney lose today's game.
That is correct. So there'll be some praying for the Swans to maybe get beaten here by Belconnen to give the senior players, of course, they play Hawthorn next. I think it's next Friday night. So yeah, that's Big Porter in the middle of the ground, and the umpires called it back due to a bad bounce. It is umpire Brent Pawley in the middle of the ground, rebouncing the ball as the big men go at it again. As he throws it up, it's Porter to do battle. There's one out by the Swans. He's called and picked a free kick out there. And a free kick going to, I think it is, no, it's gone to Porter. No, it's gone holding James Bennett. So it confused all of us. Bennett in the middle of the ground looks there for Love. Love has to run onto it. It's taken a wicked bounce here. Very dry conditions out here at Blacktown. Mustn't been a lot of rain around the corner. We've had a little bit of rain in Canberra this week. Over to Armstrong. Armstrong out to Lloyd. He's pursued by Bunyan. Just did the little shimmy around and spots up that of Towers. Towers dropped what he should have taken, and he's pursued there by Sharp. Sharp, well done. Used the big frame there. Goes onto that favoured left foot, looking there for Andrew Dess. He got a quick handball away to Jimmy Bennett, and it was a handball, and it was a clever hand in there, taken away by Stephen Ray. Now it's run away here by Xavier Richards, of course, brother of Ted. He goes down towards the centre wing over to none other than Lewis Jetta. Jetta with the ball in hand as they stand off him. He goes long inside the forward 50, looking down there towards Plug, and I think it's Brad Plug that's taken the mark right on 50.
Great mark from Brad Plug there, and the Swans straight away away on the counter. And once again, we see another one of those short kicks, this time finding Tim Membry, who's going to mark in the forward 50 for the Swans reserve side. And Brett, all too easy for the Swans, transitioning from defence straight into attack.
Absolutely, Drew. What they are doing well is they move extremely quickly inside the forward 50 and they just keep working the Belconnen backman over and they're just going to tire them out, and that's where the difference is at this level. As you can see, they've got their third shot on goal in about 8 minutes of footy, and inside forward 50 only 3 times.
Membry moves in just inside 50. I think it was touch from the man on the mark. It's going to be play on here. Taken by Campbell. Campbell's going to get the handball away. A nice little shepherd there by his teammate. I think it was Campbell. And the ball goes forward. Dropped opportunity from the Swans, and looks like we've got yet another boundary throwing.
Yeah, boundary line throw in there. Luke Donoghue went out towards. He got a lucky hand on that, but the bounce of the ball at the moment, he seems to be favouring the Swans out there, Drury.
Look, absolutely. We saw Johnny Love earlier. Just got a terrible bounce, which led to a change in possession.
Very dry deck out here, but ball's on the ground and it's taken away out there. I think it was by Damien Hector. 34 is Hector out there, and it's not really going anywhere. James Bennett is trying to form a rugby scrum out there, and the ball has come out. The umpires said keep playing on, and they've played it on. The ball is out now. That's a quick handball out there by Harper over there towards Turnbull. Turnbull comes across now looking for that of Jansen, but it was intercepted there by Membry. The umpires played it towards Membry. That's umpire Paulie. He's played it to Membry, and there's a stream inside the forward 50 over to Alex Brown. Brown inside the forward 50.
Yes, lovely little chip kick. Membry's been busy early, hasn't he? And just picked out Alex Brown nicely, and he's almost directly in front here, just a slight angle, about 40 out. You'd expect Alex Brown to do nothing else but kick this straight through the middle. Brown moving in, looks good off the boot. And I think it's just going to be waved away to the right for a minor score. So Sydney Swans now 2-1-13, leading the Belconnen Magpies yet to score.
Yeah, Brown just pushing that one a little bit wide there. A typical backman's kick, Drury. But he's been a form player in 2013. Don't be surprised to see him make a senior debut in 2014. He's one to really keep your eye on. But they look for Bennett through the kick out. He was outnumbered there by Swans players. They managed to keep it in, right tight against the boundary line. But I think Bennett, the former North Adelaide best and fairest player now, it's kept in well there by Paris. Paris with a quick handball, and it's found Towers. Towers gets a quick kick on the boot now, puts it up and under, looking for Lamb. Love bullocks his way through, but it's only as far as the number 54 in Ben Hoctor, and it's rushed over the boundary line for a boundary line throw in.
Yeah, great tackle there. Weir and Jed Lamb just getting in each other's way there for the mark there, and fortuitously for Belconnen came back on the deck. Great tackle, and the ball comes back in now, but it's cleaned up straight away by Jordan Harper. As Belconnen, they look to get out of their own 50. It's James Bennett with the ball, brother of Lexi, and he's just going to be tackled here. So Belconnen looking to get the ball out of their defensive 50, looking to get their first score on the board as they kick it forward now. Cleaned up nicely there by Chris York. Tried to get it away. York with the second attempt, but over the boundary line for a throw-in, and Armstrong was in there for the Swans.
Boundary line throw in. Belconnen really need to spread a little bit harder. They've been sucked up to the ground, all chasing a kick early in this the 11-minute mark. Of course, the winner, that's a free kick there, but it was gone missed by the umpire. It's out towards James Bennett. He put his teammate in, it was Lexi. He put his brother right under the pump there, and it was a good tackle there. It was taken without the ball. The umpires adjudicated so forth, and it will be a free kick over to Lloyd Paris. Paris goes long down, short down the boundary line, picks out Jed Lamb. Lamb improves the angle. He goes looking inside the forward 50, but it went through the arms of Turnbull, straight into the arms there of Zupu, Josh Zupu, and he's turned it over to the big fella in Porter. Porter, he swings wide with a poor-looking kick off the boot, but it was good enough by Jordan Harper, who takes the mark, despite the pressure there from Jed Lamb. In the back 50 now, he's found Curtis. It's a raking kick, and they've just dilly-dallying around. It's that second disposal, and it's taken away there by Lockyer in front of it's now Curtis, who mopped it up out towards that of the number one. It's Donoghue. He was hotly pursued by Jeddah. You don't really want to be pursued by that fella. He's got a great set of wheels on him as Lewis Jeddah. It's out towards Harper in the middle of the ground.
Great mark by Harper. He doesn't muck around. He plays on straight away as Belconnen pushed forward. And just the kick, probably didn't kick it as well as he would have liked. I think he was looking for Harris. And the Swans through Alex Brown. They're going to switch it up now. It's taken by Armstrong. Armstrong's going to chip over, but I think the umpire has seen something downfield perhaps here, Brett.
He's indicating there'll be a free kick in, is it that's Belconnen's favour or the Swans' favour? Not sure of the arm signal out here, but it would appear to be a Sydney Swans free kick. So they've played it inside the forward 50 here. It must have been a holding decision inside the forward 50 or a bit of niggle in the back play. Yeah, it's to Tim Membray, so it'd be a holding decision, I'd suggest.
Yeah, I think it was on Cam Campbell there. He doesn't look too impressed, the Belconnen stalwart, but Membray with another opportunity. Moves in does Tim Membray. He's about 40 out, similar to where Alex Brown kicked it earlier, but Membray makes no mistake, and he puts it straight through for the Swans' third goal.
Yeah, great kick from Membray. Just got to be really careful of that in today's conditions. Campbell just caught out. He's obviously worried about the size and the speed of Membray inside the forward 50. There's a couple of options going forward there inside the forward 50 where they've spotted up Membray. Of course, his other partner in crime played in the seniors last night. It was a great reward for effort for Harry Cunningham. He was a late withdrawal from this side to play up in the ones last night and certainly acquitted himself. Also, the number 46 in Shane Biggs had a starring role last night against Hawthorn at the ANZ Stadium, Drury.
Oh, he certainly did, and there'll be plenty of players in this game from the Swans side still hopeful of getting a call up at some stage in the Swans finals campaign.
As they say, you're only an injury away as the Swans lead 3-1-19 to the Magpies, yet to score. As we heard the umpire bounce the ball down on the plate and it went sideways and he's called it back to the middle of the ground. Umpire Paulie. Middle of the ground. It's Porter to do battle with Naismith. He's got a nice bit of palm work as Naismith got it out towards Lamb and Robinson, and they quickly get it inside the forward 50 again, and it's Josh Zupu that's bobbed up with a kick, yet inside the forward 50 goes, looking there for the Belconnen. Magpies get three on it, and it's crumbed nicely by the Swans there, and it was Jordan Weir who just dribbled it through, but only as far as the behind post to the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, he certainly had a lot more time than he thought he did, Jordan Weir, just perhaps trying to be a little bit too cute there, but nonetheless, Belconnen supporters, of course, watching on, be very happy to see the behind as the kick out comes forward, but it's cut off by the Swans, and just getting involved there was Campbell, and Campbell's going to get a kick away. Had the boundary line to work with, opted not to take it, but it's gone straight to Sydney Swans, and they're going to centre it back in, and just punched away from Belconnen. So the score now 3-3-21 to Belconnen, yet to score. Perhaps that last goal coming off a fortuitous call for the Swans, but Belconnen, they'll look to regroup and they'll look to go again, and I think, Brett, they'll just want a better forward entry into their 50 this time around.
It's the second kick coming out of defence, and it's out towards Taylor. He finds the runner, Curtis. Curtis has got blessed with a big kick, and he goes down there looking for the diminutive Shane Harris, of course, the reigning Mulroney medalist. He does well to take on two of the Swans. He gets up with the footy, but the Swans stand resolute through Jacob Brookfield. Brookfield over there towards that is Jordan Lockyer out there, and it's knocked over there by, that was a solid bump there. I think it was Love out there for the Swans. Armstrong's in there for the Swans as well. The umpire says, I can't really see what's going to happen. I'm going to call it my ball. No, he's going to play holding the ball. And which way is he going to go? He's gone against the Belconnen players. So free kick to the Sydney Swans. And they play on quickly through Green. Green got a quick handball out there towards Robinson. Robinson in towards that of Josh Zupu, who's creating all sorts of... is it Plug or Zupu? I think it's Brad Plug. 51 in Brad Plug out there for the Swans with yet another forward entry inside 50.
Yeah, look, absolutely. They're just not getting the rub of the green at the moment, Belconnen, but the Swans definitely on top here as we see this kick coming in on 45 metres. He's really given it a roost, and I think he likes it, Brett. He certainly does. And another goal for the Sydney Swans reserves.
There you have it, Brad Plug. He's been impressive in the last couple of games towards the latter half of the season. Of course, a local product out of the Swans Academy. He's doing extremely well here in the Swans late season charge at the top of the ladder. Of course, Belconnen gave it up in the last home and away round to Queanbeyan when they got beaten out there at Dairy Farmers Park. And now The Swans making the pay here on the scoreboard in this second semi-final. Of course, the winner straight to the grand final. It is the Sydney Swans, 4-3-27. Belconnen yet to trouble the scorers.
As we see Naismith up against Porter now. Ball goes up, a win to Porter. He's going to get back his own ball here and hand passes away. Looking for Matty Sharp, who's going to kick forward. No, he's going to handball off, and then the kick goes forward. And back to Belconnen, a little 1 and 2 there, but he's kicked straight into the mark. And now it's a hot footy, but Belconnen have the numbers. They go forward, and a great kick and a great mark.
Well done to Andrew Dess there. Got on the end of a sharp kick, and he goes inboard looking for the coach in Loken. Loken, who is the second leading goal kicker in the competition for season 2013. He's lining up for possibly Belconnen's first, and his first for the afternoon. And a rare forward entry for the Belconnen Magpies, Drury.
Oh, and boy, do they need Coach Loken to kick this over. They really do.
We're right at home with Matthew Loken as Cam Campbell had some soft tissue injuries only 3 or 4 weeks ago as he comes from the ground. A quick interchange there with Ryan Turnbull, but we'll ride this home with Matthew Loken. We'll soon see if he likes it off the boot. Loken, yes he does. He gives the little fist pump. That's the Magpies first and Loken's first, so they're on the board.
Yeah, great finish by Matty Loken there. Fantastic kick. Wasn't an easy one, and we just saw for the first time this afternoon Belconnen just really keeping possession. Of course, when you've got the football in hand, you control the game, and that's exactly what Belconnen did on that occasion.
It's interesting you say that because they've probably both had as much of the football as each other. It's just the Swans' sheer cleaner possession. It's got them 4 goals on the board.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And they've had a couple of free kicks which have led for direct 50-metre entries. So certainly Belconnen fans watching the coverage this afternoon shouldn't be too disheartened.
We'll try and get you an update from Ainsley Oval, of course, another important clash going on out there. Yeah, between the Giants and the Tricolours, but it's Big Porter in the middle of the ground, out there towards Taylor for the Belconnen Magpies, but it was taken away there by Matthew Dick, and it's now ball in the hands of Swans. Dick gets the ball back, and he's met solidly there, and it's the number 38 there, Drew McGrath, a late inclusion, and the umpire has said, holding the ball, free kick, well done. And it's going to Drew McGrath. No, it's going to, I think it's Dominic Bunyan out there for the Belconnen Magpies. It is. Former premiership player for the Magpies in their last premiership, Dominic Bunyan. He drives the ball inside looking for Dess, looking for someone to take a big grab down there, and it's beaten them all over the back of the pack. It'll be a boundary line throw in. 52 metres from the Belconnen Magpies goal. 21 minutes gone in this first quarter here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Umpire throws it in now. Naismith and Porter again. It's been a good battle so far. Once again tapped to Porter as Belconnen try to get it away. Love was in there. There was a kick on the boot just quickly, but Alex Brown's back there to clean up for the Swans. So very important that Belconnen really lock this one in and keep the pressure on as we approach the end of the first quarter. The kick from Brown is just short to Naismith, and he handballs on, and the Swans, they kick forward to space. However, the Belconnen are going to be the first ones to get there. And we've got a 2-on-2 here. I think Membry it is. He's going to get the kick away, is Membry. And he keeps the ball in, but it's going to bounce over for a boundary throw-in.
Boundary line throw-in, 21 minutes gone in this first quarter here in what would be considered a balmy day for football compared to Canberra standards, even though we've had one of the hottest winters on record. But overcast conditions, but perfect finals football weather. It is the Swans. 4-3-27, Belconnen, a 1-goal straight 6. So it's Naismith doing battle with Porter. Really needs to have a break, Porter, if they're going to have sort of impact late in the game. But Membray drops what he should have taken. It's cleaned up there by, it was a handball quickly away there to Lloyd as inside the forward 50 as Lamb shrugs the tackle and gets a shot on goal as Jed Lamb. Easy as you like, that's his second for the afternoon. Jed Lamb brings up the Swans' 5th.
Oh, great shot on goal there from Jed Lamb. Just didn't have much time to work with, but he just showed composure and just put it through, and he knew it was a goal the moment it left his boot. So the Sydney Swans now out to a 4-goal buffer. We're only in the first quarter, but great battle. I like the work of Porter, certainly in the ruck for the Magpies.
He certainly, but he does need a rest on this big ground, of course. It's we've mentioned the dry conditions out here. They're going to have to look to give him a chop out. Just a quarter-time score in there from the other final over there between Ainsley and the GWS Giants. It is Ainsley leading the Giants 4-3-27, 2-3-15. So one to keep our eye on there. Of course, many people predicting a Giants Swans grand final. I think the local Canberra teams might have something to say about that, with the tricolours leading the way out there at Ainsley Oval.
They certainly will. Could we see another Canberra rematch next week, Brett?
We may certainly see that. We don't know. Time will tell, as you keeping updated all through NEAFL.com.au. I'm Brett Davis, and joining me today is Drury Forbes. Great to have you in the broadcast, Drury.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Brett. And I must say, as you've alluded to, it's glorious conditions for finals football.
And there it's right on cue, and it's pushed off. There is Nick Collins. Collins gets a quick kick around the body. He puts an up and under there. Is it going to beat the maul? Then over the boundary line, the umpire has said no, it's going to beat the maul. Jordan Lockyer appears for the free kick. Thought he was unfairly grabbed there by Bunyan, but the umpire doesn't agree. It'll be a boundary line thrown right in front of the commentary box. Central wing here at Blacktown. Umpire throws it in his Naismith to do battle. Good tap there by Porter, straight down to the arms of the captain in Bennett. Lexi Bennett, that is. Out to Armstrong. Armstrong evades, looks for Jeddah. Jeddah just saw the player out the corner of his eye, and it was James Bennett. It's out there towards Robinson at the bottom of the pack. Out towards the last goal scorer in Lamb. Out towards Jeddah. He puts an up and under, keeps it in the field of play somehow, but that's a great grab there from Nick Collins. Collins plays on quickly with a quick handball over there towards young Chris Jansen. Jansen now out towards Lexi Bennett. Bennett has to quickly get his kick away. He's pursued by Spinks. Puts it inside the forward 50 down there looking for Loken. James Bennett, he got beaten to the ball and he got a quick handball on there. And it's now Love who bullocks his way through, and he's put it out of bounds on the full. I think he has John Love.
Yeah, but that's better from Belconnen. They got numbers around the footy and they just look a little hungrier trying to get the football there. Look, I'd like to see Shane Harris with a different matchup from Belconnen's point of view. Looks like probably a little bit of a mismatch at this stage, but if they can certainly get some more ball, short kicking into their forward 50 and take those marks are always a chance.
And the umpire throws it in now. And that'll be a free kick to the Swans. Of course, out of bounds on the full. Had to go and retrieve his own ball. Not many people in the outer here today, Drury. Out here at Blacktown, a lot of cars going past as they stream down, as the Swans streaming down the centre wing, and it's over towards Big Porter. He has to reach down for that one, but it's going to beat him over the boundary line. Boundary line throw-in, 25-minute mark of the first quarter of this second semi-final. It is the Sydney Swans 5-3-33 to the Belconnen Magpies 1-0-6.
Umpire to throw it in now. We've got Porter and Naismith again as the battle continues. Advantage to Porter this afternoon. He gets it away, but it went straight to Jed Lamb, who puts it on the boot. It's very high, and I think it's just going to bounce in. Fortunately for the Swans. No, it's actually out on the full. Correction. So Belconnen with an opportunity now. Out on the full by Jed Lamb. And he's got Jordan Harper short, but he's actually going to go across to Ryan Turnbull. Turnbull's going to go short now, and he wanted to get to Harper, but it was intercepted by the Swans, but then just called a fraction high. I think that was against Jordan Weir. So the other Jordan Harper now. He's told to play on. He kicks forward, and a nice little kick there to Porter. And I'm not sure where Naismith was there, but Porter's got the opportunity as the Magpies, they thrust forward, goes to Love. Love gives the handball off quickly. And nice little kick forward there. There's a 50-50 contest and just a bit too much on the kick. And Jed Lamb's going to handball to Armstrong, who's going to get it away. And off go the Swans.
Well done there to Jansen. A great punch on Towers. Over towards Cam Campbell. He gives it back there to Jansen. Jansen with a poor kick off the boot. Looking for Bunyan. Bunyan was good enough. Here comes Lewis Jeddah. He got a quick left foot away to that of Chris York, but he was soundly beaten there. But I think it was Lamb out there, and he gets a hurried kick away. But out of bounds on the full was Lamb as he comes off the boundary line as he looks spent there. Now it's over towards Campbell. Campbell goes sideways in there towards Jansen. Jansen He goes further afield, looking there for Harper. It's taken a wicked bounce, and Harper's read that well. He got a quick handball away to Collins. He fell to the ground. He was caught high. Yes, he was. Membray caught him high. No, it was, I think it was Robinson out there, was it? No, it's not Robinson. It is Lockyer out there that caught him high. He goes out there towards that of Des. It's intercepted by a couple of Swans. And no, it was Curtis out there for Belconnen. He was quickly fighting in for the footy and taken high there. I was unlucky not to get a free kick, was the Belconnen player, but the umpire says no, I'll have it, and that is umpire Aaron Langdon. Right in the centre square there. Very hard deck out here at Blacktown today, Drury.
Yeah, it is a hard deck, and I mean, you wouldn't think it was winter, but you wouldn't be saying that for any days during winter, really. But quite muggy out there today as well. It's probably a little more humid than it appears, as Porter gets a quick handball away, and the Magpies, they're looking for Harris Long, and just cut off there by the Swans, and they're going to rebound here.
And they're just taking it away down the centre wing, and then they're playing you end-to-end just in between the two 50s at the moment. Porter got a quick one over to Turnbull. Turnbull in turn across to Hegarty. Hegarty now swings back through the 50, looking there for, I think it's McGrath out there. McGrath with a quick kick over towards Campbell. It took a wicked bounce. Campbell now recovers in front of Membray. He gets onto the left foot. It was a scrubby left foot at that. Out towards James Bennett, who's been pursued there by Robinson. Robinson, of course, plenty of talk during the week. Out there towards Luke Donahue, and he's dived on the footy, and the umpire will have no alternative but to say thank you very much, it's my ball. They're just sitting the ball up on top of the leading forwards of Belconnen, not giving them a 50-50 opportunity to win it in their own space at the moment, Drury, Belconnen.
Yeah, they're not, and I think just the final kick, the execution at the end from Belconnen, particularly going to their forward 50, just needs to be a little bit more clinical. There's a couple of mismatches back there with the advantage to the Swans. As the Swans come away with it again now, and this is Robinson, the man we were talking about, the 19-year-old. He hands off now to Matthew Dick, who kicks it forward. He's forward to nobody, but the Swans will get there first. Oh, he's shown plenty of pace here, and this could be a goal here, Brett. He's going to centre it up.
And it's over to Spinks, who took them all on and shot a good set of wheels in there. To match the hairdo, a big afro going there. It is, I think it was the 48 in Matthew Spinks, and now it's a good grab there taken by the 50 in Stephen Ray. He's shooting on goal. Stephen Ray directly in front at the top of the goal square, but young Spinks shot a nice set of wheels outside the forward 50 there.
He had a great turn of foot, Spinks, didn't he? He backed himself, pinned the ears back, beat a couple of nice ball inside to Stephen Ray with an opportunity here.
As we line it up with Ray to kick the Swans possibly to 6, and a great start to the second semi-final, and hits the back of the net full tilt. Stephen Ray kicks the Swans 6 as they gallop away here at Blacktown.
Yeah, certainly not what the Magpies would have liked heading into quarter time. Shouldn't be too much more time in this first quarter, and Sydney Swans just being clinical early. Great short passes. They're marking those 50-50 contests at the moment, and they haven't been too wasteful. 6 goals, 3 is a good return as well. So Belconnen, well, they'll be looking for certainly a quick goal if they can get one in there before quarter time.
They certainly haven't capitalised on the work of Porter in the middle of the ground. He's been dominant in there. There's Plug to do battle with Porter in the middle of the ground. As umpire Geister bounces the ball down here. Can't be long left, 31 minutes gone. 7 goals in this opening term. It is Porter to do battle with Plug in the middle of the ground. It was Porter who won the tap out there towards Bennett. Bennett got a quick kick off the left foot only as far as York, but it was cleaned up there by Armstrong. Armstrong, he goes across there right on the siren sounds. So the Sydney Swans 6-3-39. Belconnen 1 straight kick 6. Drury, how did you see the first quarter?
Yeah, look, probably, the scoreboard isn't truly reflective of Belconnen's endeavour. They've certainly given it a crack. They just haven't been taking the marks inside 50. I'd like to see the marks inside 50 count, because Swan's well on top there, and that's what's reflective on the scoreboard. Certainly, quarter time, you wouldn't want to see Belconnen with their heads down, because I think they've certainly still got a lot to offer this afternoon.
Certainly had a lot of possession. Just quickly, the goal kickers. Jed Lamb's got a couple for the Swans. Brown's got 1. Singles also to Ray, Plug, Green. And the solitary goal kicker is the coach in Matthew Loken. So there you have it, is the Sydney Swans 6-3-39. Belconnen 1 straight kick 6. Welcome back here to Bankstown International Sports Ground. Getting ready for quarter two. It is the Sydney Swans 6-3-39. Belconnen one straight kick as we get set for bounce down with Matthew Geister. Joining me in the commentary box today is Drury Forbes. Great to have you on board, Drury, in the first blood to the Swans there, into the man that was the chief destroyer in the first quarter, and that was Jed Lamb, but he's put it straight down to the throat of Cam Campbell. Great to have all the Magpies fans watching live there at their licensed club there in Kipax. Keep the tweets coming through. Great to see, and let's hope they can put on a spirited performance in the second quarter. It's out now towards the boundary line, looking out there for Bunyan. Bunyan got a quick handball over there towards Hegarty. Hegarty puts it inside the forward 50. It's Harris who now, he got a good shepherd there. It was, I think it was Brookfield who's playing on Harris, as Loken and Harris now tried to team up on the Sydney Swans defenders, and it's just taken away there, and it went through the hands of Naismith. I think it was big Naismith down there. It's out towards Des, trying to burrow through his James Bennett, but he's locked up by the Sydney defenders, and it'll be a bounce down right at the top of the square. There is no score here in the second quarter.
As Porter goes up again against Naismith, I'll tell you what, there's a nice little snap around the corner, and Belconnen have got a goal. And I'll tell you what, Brett, put that goal down to Shane Harris, because moments earlier he never gave up. He was outmanned, he was certainly outmuscled, but he still put his head down, forced the ball up, and now they've kicked their second goal.
Yeah, great goal there to the captain, Lexi Bennett. That's what they needed. That's the start they needed for quarter two, as the Belconnen Magpies inch a little bit closer. But like you said, Harris hasn't played a lot of footy through season 2013. The reigning Mulrooney medalist. He's had a severe knee injury, and it's great to see him back on the park. He's a great character. We've had him up in the commentary box throughout season 2013. He's a real live wire, and it's great to see him back out on the footy. But first blood to the Magpies in quarter two here. Hope you're enjoying this coverage. Northeastern Football League Final Series 2013. It's the Swans out towards that of Jeddah. He played a lot of minutes in that first quarter to Jeddah. There is some talk that only play half a game, and it's taken away there by, I think it was Dick, and it's found the boundary line just in front of the I Love Blacktown scene. So it'll be a boundary line throw in. 55 from the Sydney Swans goal.
Yeah, Matthew Dick there, probably just spraying it a little slightly towards the boundary line, and we've got another throw-in, but exactly right, Brett, and all the supporters watching in Kipax. Great start for Belconnen as Matty Porter once again gets first hands to it, but once again, it's the Swans who come away with the clearance. Kick on goal now. It's a mongrel of a kick, but it could bounce through here, Brett, and it does.
I think it has. So that's a great goal there to Lloyd Paris, the former Sydney product. Of course, you've mentioned Brad Plugg at the top of the program. Earlier in the season was playing at Balmain. Is that correct, Drury?
Yeah, he certainly was. Brad Plugg, I'm very proud to say he is a Balmain product, and he's just going from strength to strength this year. And fantastic, well, it wasn't really a fantastic kick from Lloyd Paris, but fortuitous bounce, good shepherding there. And the Swans, an instant reply. Score now 7-3-45 to Belconnen's 2 goals 12.
We'll see if we can get a score coming out of Ainsley Oval there. It was the tricolours in front there at quarter time, but it's back here at Bankstown. It is Porter who rucked a lone hand in that first quarter. He's going to need a rest at some stage. Quite humid conditions. It's over towards Lexi Bennett. Bennett puts a high up and under down there. Is it looking for Loken? Loken protected the drop zone. Took a one-hander, if you don't mind. He unloads with that lethal left foot. Does Matthew Loken?
Looks good.
And he's just pushed it to wide. So could have been 2 in a couple of minutes for the Magpies, but it's only as far as the point behinds.
They're looking better though, Belconnen. They certainly are as the ball comes out to Jed Lamb. Thought Alex Brown could have perhaps provided more of a contest on Loken, but Loken did get the mark. Fortunately for Brown, though, it was a behind. As we see the Swans now, it's going to come back to Lamb. Lamb with the mark, just past their 50-metre line, the Swans. And umpire tells Jed Lamb to play on. As Matty Sharp approached him, put a bit of pressure, and the kick went forward. Naismith's there, soccers it to himself, does a little dance, gets a hand pass away. The ball's going to find itself over the boundary line. Matthew Spinks was there, but the boundary line beat him to it.
Yeah, big Naismith, they certainly find some big fellas. The Swans, they must have a factory that grow big, tall ruckman, but he's a lump of a lad. Is Sam Naismith. First time we've seen him in the Swans colours. Obviously an academy product. It's out towards Curtis. He tries to don't argue, and he's got a free kick for his... No, the umpire says free kick to the Swans. He's called holding the ball as it was Cam Campbell who went to ground, looking there for Membray, but it's butted up there by Jansen over towards Love. Love with a quick handball towards Sharp. Intercepted by big Naismith. He was slung as he kicked to the ground. It's out towards Browning. Browning now trails the foot. It's over to Campbell. Campbell gets a quick handball over towards Sharp. Followed it up was Campbell. Campbell in the back half now looking there. It was a worm burner looking for York. York out towards Curtis. Curtis tries to unload with a torpedo looking for Loken. On this occasion, it is the Swans through Xavier Richards as they can. He's turned it over towards Love. This gives Belconnen an opportunity. They don't need to panic with the footy. It's out there towards... it was James Bennett. It was just a little bit hot for him, and it lets the Swans clean up through Robinson. Robinson out towards, I think it's Richards again, out towards Robinson again to the run of Lamb. Lamb comes long down the boundary line looking for someone, but none other than Matty Porter.
Oh, Matty Porter. He's been just about Belconnen's best thus far, and looks like he's going to get a 50. Perhaps the Swans player there in Brad Plug just moving over the mark. But Matty Porter playing his 99th NEAFL game this afternoon. If anyone deserves this, it's him. And he'll have an opportunity to kick Belconnen's third. Looks like he's going to dish it off, and if he does, so he gives it straight to Curtis, who pumps it long. I tell you what, Brett, this looks like a bloody good kick, and Curtis has put it through. Belconnen have kicked their third. And great little hand pass from Porter there onto Curtis. Fortunately for James Bennett, because we mentioned his mark that he should have caught just moments earlier. And Curtis, well, he made no mistake, did he?
He's got a prodigious kick, as Simon Curtis is one of the best kicks in the league, of course. Just a quick update there from Ainsley Oval. It is Ainsley skipping away out there. It is 9-5-59. The Giants 3-4-22. Could be an upset on the cards. A lot of people, as we said, Drury, all over Sydney, all over Canberra. Of course, the counterparts in the Northern League are all tipping the Giants Swans grand final. And some of the Belconnen and Ainsley supporters, they've got news for you, but it's back to the middle of the ground. The umpire bounces it up. They can get back-to-back goals. Belconnen, they'll be right back in this contest out here at Blacktown. It's Isaac Taylor wrapped up there by that of Plug. The umpire says play on. It's out there towards Lockyer. Lockyer in front of York. Just got to work a little bit harder, Chris York. It's out there towards Armstrong. He was clever enough to get a handball over towards Robinson. Robinson out there towards that of, I think it's Dick out there, or Membray. I can't quite pick the number. I think it's Membray. The umpire's whistles are going everywhere. It's out towards Towers, who takes a strong mark. Dean Towers, the 22 for the Sydney Swans. He comes inboard now. He's pursued by the Belconnen defenders. He centres the ball up looking for a mark. It's punched away by Browning into the arms of Plug. Plug had a fresh air at it, and it now cleared away by John Love. Love with a handball over there towards that of Dominic Bunyan and Dick. Dick was the winner on this occasion. It's over towards Turnbull. He had more time than he thought, and it's out towards Xavier Richards in front of Loken.
Great mark from Richards. He's going to switch straight away, and the Swans have some numbers here. Got an opportunity. The short kick's going to find, I think it's Towers. It is. Towers with another mark. Plays on straight away. Comes around the corner, but a great tackle from the Magpies. And a fantastic tackle. It was actually Jack Baker who came across and said, Towers, I don't think so. And Belconnen are going to come away now, but once again cut off by the Swans.
Over to the Swans defenders in Lockyer. Lockyer has pick-pointed, I think it's Lloyd out there, the 44 for the Swans in front of... it's James Bennett. Yes, it is Lloyd. He looks there for Membray. It's punched away by the Belconnen defenders over towards that of Plug, out towards Spinks. Plenty of hair as Spinks. He's dropped that goal. Umpire says play on. Umpire, it was Aaron Langton there. I think he missed one against the Swans, and it gets Spinks was good enough to get up on his feet. And is he going to make them pay on the scoreboard? You betcha. As Spinks puts it straight over the goal umpire's hat for the Swans' second of the quarter.
Gee, I thought that was a tough call not to be ball earlier on Spinks, but as you said, he certainly made the most of it. And probably the last thing that our Belconnen supporters want to see, and a big hello to them watching the coverage this afternoon. But Spinks, he's been an excitement machine this afternoon, and he certainly made the most of his second opportunity.
A 30-point lead to the Tricolours out there at Ainsley Oval against the Giants. So it's 7-4-46, 2-4-16. Hope you're enjoying this coverage. Second semi-final live from Blacktown Sports International Sports Park. It is the Sydney Swans 8-3-51, Belconnen 3-1-19. It's Porter rucking tirelessly in the middle of the ground out towards the captain in Bennett, and he gets a free kick for his hard work. He was umpire said caught too high. Lexi Bennett in the middle of the ground needs to make the most of it. He looks for Coach Loken. Loken unlucky not to get a free kick. He was hotly pursued there by Richards. It's over towards the Spring Hill Redbird Tony Armstrong. He out to the last goal scorer. He went in it one-handed, did Spinks. He got tackled and wrapped up there by Taylor and Turnbull. Quick kick out towards Hegarty. Hegarty now will have to go onto the left boot. Hegarty puts it up there looking for James Bennett and is punched away there as Des tries to battle manfully against Brown and that of Robinson. It's Brown, the victor for the Swans. He got a quick handball away over there towards Hochter. Hochter down the line, looks for Browning, and the umpire said it's touched. I thought that come off the shin there, Drury. So it might be 1-1 there, even though it didn't cost the Swans a goal.
There he is, Eagle Eyes. Brett Davis never misses a trick as the umpire about to throw it in. They deserve a fortuitous call though, Belconnen certainly, and Browning, good work there as the ball comes down, and we're going to follow play now with Spinks, who once again on the run kicks it forward. There's no one at home. Membry's the first one that's going to chase it there. He's got Campbell on his tail. It's Membry versus Campbell. Membry says, "See you later," and oh, he's hit the post.
He showed a set of wheels there to Tim Membray, tested out the hamstring of Cam Campbell, of course, just coming back from that soft tissue injury. And we just saw another speedster in Ryan Turnbull mow down the Afroed Spinks. So Matty Spinks there just got mowed down by the two speedsters from Belconnen and Membray. And it's a poor kick out there from Belconnen. It's right into the arms of the Swans as they come, turned over in there towards Porter in the middle of the ground, right on centre wing. He goes down there looking for Bunyan. Bunyan with a good grab there in front of Matthew Dick. They need to slow the play down to the Belconnen Magpies.
Yeah, he's got Loken on, but he's just held off and he has to go long here. It was a great mark, as you said, from Bunyan, and just got their hands to it there. James Bennett's around it, but probably the best result there for Belconnen was the boundary. There was 3-on-2, and I'm sure they'll be happy to see the boundary line. And Loken, it looks like, is standing in the ruck at the moment for the Magpies. So Loken's going to go up against Plug. Loken got the ball, put it on the foot, and it was just cut off there by the Swans. And a nice little kick forward, and it might be Membry who's taken that mark. So the Swans straight away out of their defensive 50. Membry goes forward, and a nice mark taken on the outer side. 8-4-52, the Swans leading Belconnen 3-1-19. Halfway into the second quarter now. It's been a better quarter though, Brett, from the Magpies.
Certainly, they're looking to get free James Bennett up. He hasn't been allowed the room that he was by Ainsley last week. Of course, Bennett fresh off a 40-touch game, and it is that man Jetta as they look to control the minutes for Jetta. Jetta goes wide, looking down here towards that of Matthew Dick. Dick didn't let him down in front of Baker, it was, and he goes sideways, looking there for Lockyer. In the back 50, as they look to pinpoint, they don't waste a possession. The Sydney Swans, Lockyer, he goes long, looking for the run of Jetta. It's a 2-on-1 now, and he's still comfortably, it's going to be out there between that of Donahue. He got doved into the back there, and yes, the umpire says yes. Free kick right on centre wing to Luke Donahue. That's almost a professional free kick from the Swans to allow the numbers to flow back inside the back 50, and it's been successful on this occasion as he looks for Loken. He protects the breadbasket. Loken, the umpire says yes. Mark doesn't really gain a lot of distance after he came up leading at the ball. Loken, he goes back now. Matthew Loken needs to find a target inside the forward 50.
Well, he's probably going to look for Bunyan here as Loken goes long, and a big jump there. Oh, unlucky not to be paid, but it has come down to Bunyan, I think it was. He put it straight on the boot and just got the hands to it, did Chris York, and we see another boundary throw-in.
Boundary line throw-in, yes. Chris York really needs to work a little bit harder inside the forward 50. They need to get some work out of York, James Bennett, and they probably need to mix up a little bit and get a bit more pace through their midfield. Belconnen, if they're going to make a dent, they need to make the charge at the Swans right now.
Certainly, and I'd like to see young Shane Harris involved a little more as well, as we see a bit of a hold-up here, Brett.
Is it a blood rule, is it? No. just allowing them to man up, Drury. Of course, this second semi-final, everything to play for. The winner progresses straight through to the grand final to be held in a fortnight. Who's going to be their opponent? Well, time will tell. We'll keep you updated with all the scores from Ainsley. The last score we had, it was the...
free kick Magpies, sorry, Brett. Free kick Magpies.
Half-time, it is the Tricolours 9-7-61, UWS 3-5-23. So the Tricolours, if they can maintain their form out there at Ainsley Oval, it'll be a turn up for the books. Could we see Belconnen play Ainsley for a spot in the grand final? Will it be the Swans v Ainsley? Will it be the Swans v Giants? Time will tell. And it is Baker. How's he kicked that one? I think he's missed it. That he has.
Yeah, well, they need to start kicking those ones, Belconnen. Certainly, we know the Swans have been reasonably accurate. Belconnen need to be taking every opportunity that presents itself this afternoon to be in this one as Naismith takes the mark, and once again the Swans very quick to get it out of their back 50. Naismith goes along the ground, wasn't the prettiest kick, but it was picked up by the 19-year-old Dan Robinson and eventually kicked forward, and a fantastic mark. Well, it wasn't paid, so we're going to play on now, and that is number 22 in Dean Towers, who sends it long. Membry didn't judge it well. Belconnen, and nice soccer off the ground by Baker there, and Membry, well, could have probably judged it a bit better. He would have had a shot on goal.
Yeah, he was unlucky there, but Baker did well. He didn't panic under the pressure as they looked to bring the ball back in through Nick Collins. Collins with a short kick over there towards that of, I think it's a 19 out there. It is, it's not Porter. I think it is Chris Jansen. Jansen's turned the ball over to Armstrong into the strong hands of Towers. Shot on goal to the Sydney Swans, looking to bring up their third of the second quarter. 17 minutes gone. He's an imposing figure inside the forward 50, Dean Towers. He just took on the three Belconnen defenders and bang, into the big mitts it does. And Dean Towers looking to bring up his first for the afternoon.
Yeah, been very impressed with Dean Towers this afternoon. He's presented all day, taken a few marks as well, and certainly caused some headaches for the Belconnen defence. So Towers, he moves in, confident stride, gives it plenty of airtime, and I think he likes this. Yes, he does. Dean Towers makes no mistake and puts another one on the board for the Sydney Swans. And just really making it hurt just that little bit more, that last miss we saw from Belconnen just not too long ago.
Yeah, 39 points the difference out here at Blacktown. It is the Sydney Swans in control, 9-5-59, Belconnen 3-2-20. All the work for the Magpies to do. They look a little bit worn on their feet as Porter just comes back onto the ground. Quite a humid day, as we've mentioned at the top of the program, Drury, out here at Blacktown. Probably high humidity, relatively speaking. Of course, it does take an effect at this time of the year after you're used to playing in the cold conditions of Canberra, but it was Naismith with the tap out there towards Bennett. He hasn't been afforded the same room he did last week. It's in a turnover there, and the umpire said it's going to be a free kick. It is umpire Geister who says free kick to James Bennett. Rare kick to Bennett, the number 6, the raging hot favourite for the Mulrooney medal. Of course, and that'll be in a lunchtime presentation in the not too distant future. James Bennett out there towards Turnbull. Turnbull dead set centre wing, comes in towards Sharp, the former Benella product, Matthew Sharp. Sharp slows the ball down, slows the game down, takes the heat out of it, going towards Browning. It was Bunyan who got it. It's out now towards Armstrong, and it's taken high there was Lamb. Lamb, he just gets a quick kick away. It's only as far as that of Porter. No, it was Browning. It was stolen off Browning, rugby union style. They get it into the middle of the ground. It was Hegarty. Hegarty tried to bump the Swans defender off it. Now it's over towards that of Donahue, out towards Turnbull, into a Dess, I think it is. No, it's York is bobbed up inside the forward 50. So Chris York with possibly his second shot on goal, Drury.
Yeah, look, Chris York, he had that earlier shot. I think it was the first shot of the game. And I think he'd want to just put this top of the square. Bunyan's been good, and Bunyan just getting away from his opponent in back play here. So Chris York, it's a good kick off the boot. Certainly got plenty of distance, but it's just going to go through for a minor score. So another behind to Belconnen now. We see Sydney 9-5-59. playing 3-3-21 of the Belconnen Magpies. And we'll see here the kick coming out from Armstrong. And once again, Sydney managing to get that mark from that first kick in quite easily, which would be concerning, certainly for Belconnen.
Towers with the ball in hand. Towers, they control and take the heat out of the game at the 19-minute mark here at Blacktown. Of course, the winner progresses straight through to the grand final. There is optimism in the stands because they want a couple of their big guns to come back through the seconds, but I don't think they'll have anything of it. And here it is. It's out there. It's a foot race between that of Dick and Des. It was Des who lost the battle against Dick. Dick goes long down the line, looking there for, I think it was Plug, was it? Out there towards big Naismith. Naismith hooks it around the body, looking over, got a wicked bounce, did Hegarty, out towards the arms of Membray. Jimmy Membray gets his second. He gets the Swans 10th as they gallop away here at Blacktown International Sports Park in this second semi-final.
Oh, Membray's been everywhere for the Swans up forward this afternoon, and once again, ball on the deck. Membray's always sniffing around, isn't he? And just probably left it to the last moment possible, but toying with his opponent, put it on the boot, a few metres out, another goal to the Swans.
And just judging the ball better on that occasion was Tim Membray. He just saw the ball was going to bounce, and it took a Shane Warne Google type turn, and he just read it a little bit better than the rest of the players. As Belconnen looking for the winning formula, shuffling the players around the decks at the moment. It is big Naismith. He's been impressive in the middle of the ground against Porter. It's cleared away there by Robinson. Robinson out towards the 16 in Jansen. Jansen out towards Curtis. Curtis ball in hand now. Unloads a big one. Get on the end of that one there, Chris York, but it was a 2-on-1. It's taken away there by Lockyer. Lockyer looking for Spinks. It's now taken away by Taylor for the Magpies out towards Curtis. He got a quick handball over there towards McGrath. McGrath out towards Curtis again, out towards Hegarty. Hegarty goes long down the line, looking there for Lexi Bennett. Bennett went to play on quickly, and he does. He's found Jordan Harper in the middle of the ground. Harper with a quick handballer back there towards Hegarty. Hegarty now has to pirouette and try and take on 2 or 3 as they just guard the space, the Sydney Swans. And it's a turnover there to Armstrong.
Armstrong with a quick kick away. Gee, that was tremendous pressure from the Swans. They just kept holding it up until they forced Belconnen to kick to a tough contest, and the ball, they don't muck around with it. The Swans, I think it's Lloyd, he kicks it straight on the boot, and a great mark again to Dean Towers. And Towers, that must be his 4th or 5th mark inside 50 this afternoon. And just going back to that, Belconnen, they just had to keep circling, trying to evade the tackle. They were handballing backwards until they were forced to put that kick under pressure. Armstrong, quick mark, quick switch on, went through a few, and Towers was there, and an opportunity to kick the Sydney's 11th goal this afternoon is Dean Towers.
Towers comes through for his second for the afternoon. He makes no mistake. Dean Towers drives a further wedge between that and the Magpies. So that's a great goal there to Dean Towers, but fantastically done to the Swans. They don't overcommit. They just guard the space and they force you into making a turnover. Force Hegarty to put the ball up and under, and result in shot on goal to the Swans. 50-point margin here at Blacktown. It could get ugly, Drury.
Well, not if Cam Campbell has anything to do with it. He's just come back on the field, as has Xavier Richards for the Swans. Well, they certainly need something prior to half-time, just for their confidence, Belconnen.
They do, and 23 minutes gone, can't be long. Must be maybe 3 or 4 minutes to the half-time break. Maybe a cold shower from Coach Loken. It might be the answer for the Belconnen Magpies. 50-point margin here in the second semi-final. Of course, the winner straight through to the NEAFL Grand Final in 2013. Can the Swans atone for last year's premiership against the Queanbeyan Tigers? They'll be looking to go one up in season 2013. As the umpire says, I'll have it in the middle of the ground. It is umpire Paulie. Of course, umpire Brent Paulie, AFL rookie listed umpire. Great to see him out there. It's Naismith. He's been impressive in the middle of the ground there as the Swans paddle it away through there. It is taken there by Brookfield, and it's taken there now by young Jansen. Jansen over towards Hegarty, and he got a quick handball only as far as the Swans defenders. It's out towards Campbell, and it's that man again, Josh Zupo. Which way's it going to bounce? It bounces straight into the the padding for a minor score to the Swans.
Yeah, great anticipation from Zupo there. Cam Campbell did all he possibly could, but Zupo swooped in and just hitting the post. Fortunately for the Magpies, as the ball finds its way with John Love. John Love going long. He was just looking there for Porter, but he's found the boundary line.
He had a bounds on the full, I think, Drury. So there's Armstrong, ball in hand. Right at the back half now, over towards that in Jeddah. Jeddah picked that up on the half volley now, has a trademark run and bounce. He's looking further afield there for Xavier Richards, but it had a little bit too much on it, and it's found the boundary line in front of Xavier Richards. So this gives Belconnen an opportunity on half-time, Drury.
Yeah, certainly, and they need a goal here, Belconnen, just before the break, just for their confidence. Zokin's going to go up in the ruck again. And coming now with James Bennett, he's going to get it back a little 1-2. It was touched off the boot. It was touched off the boot there from Hochter for another boundary throw in. Yes, Brett, absolutely right. Belconnen, they need something from this opportunity. As we see Loken up again. Bit of a mismatch, but once again, Loken coming down with it, leading from example. Now it's a foot race between Towers and Love. Towers is going to get it. He steps inside from Love and puts it straight on the boot. He's looking forward here for Jordan Weir, who takes a good mark. Is he going to handball off? No, he's going to go short instead. And I think it's Lloyd who's there. Just couldn't get it down. Lloyd's second attempt, picks it up. Tackled though, and here comes Jeddah, who's found himself up all the way up into the forward 50. He swings around Jeddah and puts it on the boot. Porter, he couldn't mark, comes down fortuitously for the Swans, so on the boot, and I think that's probably the most delayed kick you'll ever see. Bounced probably a metre short of the goal, then decided to come back before taking over from behind.
It was a wicked bounce, of course. The Sharon, we know, can do some awkward things. It's playing all sorts of tricks out here at Blacktown International Sports Park, but it's out towards Des. Des at half back, normally up at centre half forward. He goes towards Bunyan. Bunyan marks in front of Spinks. So right on centre wing is Dom Bunyan. Bunyan goes down towards Harris. Plenty of hair out there today between Spinks and Harris. Harris now on the left foot comes inside there towards Des, who's worked hard to get the next possession. Andrew Des, 60 metres from the Belconnen goal, approaching half-time here in this second semi-final. They badly need a goal to the Magpies. He goes in there looking for York. Was punched away by Lockyer for the Swans, and he's taken to the ground by Chris York. Which way will the umpire see it? He says, I'll have it. Thanks very much. Bounce down, 45 metres from the Belconnen goal. Badly lead one just on the stroke of half-time. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Northeastern Football League Conference. I'm Brett Davis, and joining me today is Drury Forbes in the broadcast books through NEAFL.com.au as we get another boundary line throw in. 28 minutes gone.
Ball comes in. Final moments before half-time. And Loken there trying to get a hand to it. Belconnen with the ball. There's an opportunity here and a great little mark he plays on straight away and around the corner. Harris is there. We spoke about the hairdo. Harris just couldn't get to it, but follows up with a fantastic tackle. And then around the corner, oh, it's a fantastic goal. Chris York. He's got one for the afternoon. He's straight in his left around the corner. And that was a beautiful goal and just what the Magpies needed.
Absolutely great work there by Shane Harris. They just kept the ball alive at all costs there, and Chris York with Johnny on the spot there, but great pressure, Shane Harris. The Swans defender tried to paddle it down, and Harris anticipated it and just stood the ground there. That's the sort of work that Shane Harris won him a Mulroney medal in 2012. Of course, hasn't played a lot of football in 2013. Shane Harris, he is a star. And right on the stroke of half-time, the Magpies claw one back. So a badly needed goal. Back to the middle of the ground for the bounce. It is 11-7-73, 4-3-27. So the Magpies, can they get another one, sneaky one before half-time? It is Porter to do battle with Naismith in the middle of the ground. It's only as far as Robinson. He's been good in the middle of the ground. Now it's Jimmy Bennett. James Bennett gets it out there towards that of Des, and it's taken away now by the Swans in the back half through Robinson. Out there towards Dick. Dick pushes it wide towards Towers. And he's got a clear gallop out there as Towers. He gets a quick break on McGrath. He centres the ball looking down there for Jordan Weir, and Weir doesn't let him down. That was a great bit of play by Dean Towers.
Certainly was, and Josh Zuppo was there as well. Actually attracted a couple of defenders, and smartly done by Towers. He just at the last minute saw Jordan Weir appear on his own, and a nice little kick to advantage. And Jordan Weir, well, this would hurt. This would hurt the Magpies just before half time. It looks good off the boot. He's kept it low, but I think he has. He's just put it to the left there, Jordan Weir. So lucky break somewhat for the Magpies there with that miss, and takes the score to 11-8-74. Belconnen's 4-3-27.
Ball to be brought in by Campbell. No, it's James Bennett doing the bringing in. It's out towards his brother in Lexi Bennett over there towards Collins. There's the halftime siren here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It is the Sydney Swans 11-8-74 leading the Belconnen Magpies 4-3-27. Drury, Belconnen, what have they got to do? Big half coming up.
Yeah, look, certainly. I think what I would like to see Belconnen do a lot more is play on a bit quicker. They're taking a few marks and they're just allowing the Swans' defence to get set. There is a few mismatches there for Belconnen, so I think they need to play on and kick more to their advantage, particularly in the forward 50. I still think there's certainly, certainly not completely out of it. Belconnen, they've had a fantastic season. They didn't finish equal first on the ladder for no reason, so they certainly need to keep their heads up. But Sydney Swans, very impressive thus far.
You're saying take the game on Drury at all costs. They've got nothing to lose, haven't they? They've come 3.5 hours down the highway. Take the game on.
Absolutely, take the game on. You know, Matty Porter's winning it. Well, he certainly was in the first quarter, probably 50-50 in the ruck that quarter. When they're getting the ball, they need to play on much quicker and just take a few more risks. As you said, absolutely nothing to lose, everything to gain. Yeah,
throw a bit of caution in the wind. Here you have it. We'll be back with all the second half here through NEAFL.com.au. It is the Sydney Swans 11-8-74, Belconnen 4-3-27. Magpies all the work to do in quarters 3 and 4.
Welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park for this finals match between the Sydney Swans reserves and the Belconnen Magpies. The Belconnen Magpies playing in their first final series since 2009, but they're certainly up against it here at Blacktown. And joining me in the commentary box, of course, is Brett Davis. Brett, how do you see the second half panning out?
A lot of work for the Belconnen Magpies. Drury, Swans very, very efficient with 11 goals in that first half of footy. All the work in front of Belconnen, but just got to throw caution to win and take the game on, as we said prior to half time, and we'll see what the results bear, because they've got nothing to lose, and it'll be only one way home if they don't have a crack at it.
And a long way home indeed, as we see the two number 11s going at it, Jed Lamb and Lexi Bennett, the skipper. It's going to go to Bennett now, and the first blood to Belconnen very early in the second half. As Brett said, they've got to throw caution to the wind. They've got to play on a lot more, as we were discussing. As we see, I think it's Jensen tackled there by Matthew Dick, and the umpire wants it.
Umpire says, I'll have the ball. It was Dick doing battle there with Bunyan. He throws it up quickly. It's the two big men. It's Naismith doing a battle with Porter. He's done extremely well, but it's out to Bennett, who's been well held today. Out there towards Loken. Went without it, did York. It was mopped up by Xavier Richards. They got a quick handball out there towards that of Dick again. It's out there towards the man who's causing a lot of headaches, the number 1 in Tim Membray. Membray now on centre wing right in front of the broadcast box here at Blacktown. He goes into the middle of the ground to the other destroyer in Towers, over to another one in Armstrong, out towards Robinson, who's racked up plenty, out towards Jedi, if you don't mind. He's here looking for a senior recall next week. Come AFL Finals footy, he goes long inside the forward 50 with an ugly kick off the boot, backing back into the pack. There was, I think it was Jordan Weir down there, and he's got a free kick. No, he hasn't got a free kick. The umpire said it's going to be a free kick to Curtis for the Magpies, Drury.
Well, that's interesting. It appeared that Curtis was the instigator there, but look, arguably one of those things you could even let go, as we see Simon Curtis trekking Mount Blacktown to receive this ball here in back play. And Curtis, once he makes his way over the fence, as you see him throwing the ball over, now he'll jump over the fence. He'll take the kick for the Magpies.
Shorts caught on the white picket fence too, Drury.
As Curtis really taking his time. We mentioned we'd like to see a little bit of urgency from the Magpies. Curtis looks like he's going to go long. I'm not sure if that came off the boot as he would have liked it, and an easy mark taken by the Swans.
And it's out there towards Plug, the former Balmain product. Of course, you played a couple of games early in the season. Guess who? Membray, the number 1. Bob's up inside the forward 50. I think I'd be looking at a change over there. It's time to send Loken back in the back half, maybe to do a job on Membray because he's going to get away on him. He's looking for the Swans 12th. And it'll put more pressure on the Belconnen Magpies to come out with a miraculous third quarter as the Belconnen runner goes out now. Of course, having a fascinating chat at halftime to some of the Sydney Swans support staff about the sports science in modern day football, Jury. Absolutely fascinating. A lot of people probably don't understand the way that they manage load and things like that. It's not probably the conversation to have on air, but as the Swans draw first blood for the third quarter through Tim Membray, it was a fascinating conversation to see how they manage players and their workloads and to keep them on the park.
Yeah, certainly. We've got some sports science staff that are here at Blacktown this afternoon working very diligently away with all sorts of technology, and you can just see from top to bottom in the Swans organisation just how professional this team really is.
Certainly is, and I think it's an area of growth for the other NEAFL clubs. They really need to get on board some of the sports science. People say, yep, okay, 40 hours a week, but how do I bridge the gap if I'm a local NEAFL club? Well, these are areas which you can look at. Maybe you can buy part of that, who knows? But it's into the middle of the ground here. It's out towards Porter. He has another crack at it, out towards James Bennett. He's wrapped up there by, it is Jake Lloyd. He's been a solid contributor on Bennett today as Jake Lloyd, umpire. I think it's Paulie out there. He says, oh, no, it's umpire Geister says, I'll have it. It's cleared away there by, was it Curtis out there? And it's a get up and under that. It's out towards Bunyan and Dick, and it meets them both over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary line throw in. 4 minutes gone in this third quarter. It is the Sydney Swans 12-8-80. Belconnen 4-3-27.
As Dick and Bunyan side by side in the background, umpire throws it in, and Porter just a little body work on Neesmith, although Neesmith got a second bite of the cherry, and here comes Lewis Jetta. He takes a bounce. He keeps going. Jetta, he might get the ball back here. He does for a little 1-2. Oh, couldn't take it in, and Jensen's going to clean up the scraps, fortunately for the Magpies, and could have been shut the gates there with Lewis Jetta. As we see him just coming over here, and the ball's going to trickle over, but oh boy, that was just probably a sample of things boiling over there and what Jetta's capable of, Brett.
Yeah, he gets a free kick for his troubles out of Bands on the full, looks over there towards his mate in Armstrong, and it was a solid bump there by Membray on Geordie Harper, just knocked him over the footy. Harper got a quick handball out there towards Campbell. He was pursued by Spinks, out towards Harper, out towards Sharp, out now towards that of, it's Baker out there, out to back towards Harper again, and it's back towards that of Cam Campbell. Cam Campbell doesn't know what to do, and we'll keep our eye on Tony Armstrong. He's an important player for the Swans. Down inside the forward 50 there as Belconnen look to work it out through Jansen. Jansen is corralled there from Ben Hochter. Inside the forward 50 goes towards Curtis. Curtis with a quick handball over there towards Baker. It is Baker with one over to Browning. Browning's pursued by Jetta, and he got his kick away out there towards Dess. He dropped what he should have taken. It's in the middle over towards Brown, out towards Jetta. You're not far out of the game. Jetta outside 50, unloads with one. Lewis Jetta, if you don't mind. There it is, Lewis Jetta. He's looking for that finals next week, isn't he, Drury?
He certainly is, Lewis Jetta. He started this second half tremendously, just everywhere at the moment, and had plenty of time and just went crack from 50 and put that through. And as they do, he's kicked a goal. He's coming straight off.
Yeah, without any trouble at all. He just pulled the trigger on that one and went bang straight over the goal umpire's hat. A lot of Swans fans obviously salivating at the thoughts of Lewis Jetta playing in the seniors next week. Just a quick score out of Ainslie. Midway through the third term, it is the Ainslie Football Club 10-10-70 leading the Giants 4-6-30. Have we got an upset on the cards out there at Ainslie Oval? Back here at Blacktown, there's the Swans in one-way traffic. 13-8-86, Belconnen 4-3-27.
Well, should Ainslie get the chocolates against the Giants, that would certainly dispel a Sydney grand final, Brett.
That it would. Most pundits, most professional pundits around town were tipping a Swans Giants grand final. If it keeps going the way you're saying, Ainslie take the chocolates. As a bit of feeling gets out here at Blacktown as the heat rises in the middle of the ground. Forget about the temperature out there. It is Porter. He slaps the ball as the umpire throws it out towards there. there of York. He was tackled without the footy, free kick, and now it's played on quickly as they kick over the heads there. That was a poor kick there. It's out towards Desi, tried to paddle it back towards that of Loken. It's towards Harris. He was caught without the footy, should have got a free kick. It's Loken who bends the ball back in on the left foot, out towards that of Des, who was at the top of the square, Andrew Des. Well done to Matthew Loken as Andrew Des lines up what could be the Belconnen Magpies' fifth.
Yeah, fantastic positional play from Andrew Des. He certainly read that a lot better than Alex Brown. And Des with an opportunity to get Belconnen's first goal of the second half.
Right at home with Andrew Des. He gets Belconnen's fifth. He makes no mistake with it, does Andrew Des. He bridges the gap a little bit closer for the Magpies. It is Belconnen trailing the Swans 5-3-33, 13-8-86. Hope you're enjoying the coverage through NEAFL.com.au. Of course, we're going to bring you all the finals live through season 2013, if I can get that one out. 2013 it is, Drury.
2013.
2013. Of course, you'll be joining me in the broadcast box for the final series. Where will it be? Will it be Swans? Will it be Giants? Will it be a Magpie? Or will it be a tricolour? Time will tell, but the winner here goes straight through, and on current form it looks like Sydney might get the cookies today, and it's taken away out of the middle of the ground there by Robinson. Robinson out to the man who's been impressive in Membray, over to another impressive player in Towers. He drives the ball down and looking down there for the Swans forwards. It's out there towards that of Paris. Paris jigged around onto the right boot, puts it in down there, but only as far as Josh Hegarty. Hegarty over towards Love.
Love with a nice mark. Now he's got Isaac Taylor just running across, but he's just going to go a little bit further to Drew McGrath. McGrath couldn't take the mark. Isaac Taylor goes in to try and pick up the scraps. There's a real tussle for the ball, but having said that, the Swans, they're back in numbers. They go back to go forwards. Love with a good pressure though, and Spinks is in there. It's a hot footy at the moment. Spinks with the tackle, and the umpire's giving the free kick to the Magpies here. So I think he's called just a little high from Spinks there. As the Magpies look to go forward, they kick to the contest. Harris went up, so did Loken. Was Belconnen held? The umpire said no, and the Swans are going to come away with it now with a nice little short chip, and that's marked by Jordan Weir. Now that's a very soft 50. Gee, that was probably a tough call, but the Swans, another opportunity here, Brett.
That's certainly what you don't need at this stage of the game. Big Porter there, just a little bit overzealous in the body work on young Jordan Weir, results in him getting a shot on goal. Kenny Kicky's first for the afternoon. Of course, he missed one from a similar position at the other end. Is Weir. He's got that funny kicking style where he stabs at it, and he's missed it again. So Jordan Weir sort of punches at the ball low.
Well, I think what happened there, he's actually got a touch from the man on the mark. And it's gone through from behind. So he got very close to the man on the mark there, Jordan Weir. As you said, quite a unique kicking style as Belconnen, little kick to himself and kicks out for the Magpies. It looks like a good kick too, and a great mark. It might have been Curtis there, who plays on straight away to Harper, who gets the handball away, and just couldn't pick it up cleanly there was Josh Hegarty. And it's going to be a boundary throw in as we see Matty Sharp about to come on for the Magpies.
As the umpire throws it in, and Belconnen really need to make the most of the advantage. It's Loken doing battle through Sharp, the freshman on the ground, pays instant dividends for the Magpies, looking there for Des. It's out towards Love now. He gets a quick handball over towards the run of Jordan Harper. Harper with a wicked looking kick off the boot there, and it took a wicked turn, allows Xavier Richards to take it away. He's met solidly there by Dom Bunyan, the former rugby league product Dominic Bunyan. He didn't let Xavier Richards any room there, did he? And wrapped him up in a nice tackle, pinned the ball inside the Swans forward 50. He plays, as someone suggested, a boutique small forward role as Dom Bunyan. I thought it was a very apt term and a new terminology, boutique small forward. So back to the play. It's Spinks who lays a strong tackle on there for the Swans, and it's not going to get out of there in a hurry as the umpire puts the whistle to his mouth and he says play on as this Belconnen get it through Harper. It's out towards that man Bunyan on cue, over towards Sharp. He gets a quick handball over there towards, was looking for Turnbull, but it was just intercepted. Now it's into the arms of Curtis. Curtis with a quick chip around to Turnbull. Turnbull, he's now called to play on. He gets a chance to unload it, and he's looking out there towards Love, but it was intercepted there by the Swans defence. They just read it a lot better as they bring it outside the forward 50, and it's into the arms there of Drew McGrath. McGrath out towards Loken. Loken got one off the side of the boot, an outside torpedo, looking there for Hegarty, but the Swans defence was resolute there through the number 51 out there, and it's out there towards York. And as the players for Belconnen are out on their feet for working overtime in the forward 50, it is Chris York with a shot on goal. 13 minutes gone. Can he bring back the Magpies a 6 for the afternoon, Drury?
Oh, take a breath, Brett Davis. Well called. And yes, a good opportunity here for York. He shouldn't make any mistake with this, but having said that, he has, and in fact he's kicked it behind it. Another great tackle from Bunyan there, and Bunyan's given them the repeat opportunities, but I got to say there was certainly some occasions throughout that passage of play. Still Belconnen hesitant. Once they've taken the mark to kick it forward, they've just got to go straight away. First option, there was a couple there. John Love was all on his own, giving the Swans an opportunity. Having said that, here they go, the Magpies. They've got another opportunity. Swans over there, they clean it up, and Robinson now, the 19-year-old, he hands it off. And the kick forward now from the Swans. It's going to go straight to Lewis Jetta. Lewis Jetta now, he's got Shane Harris on the mark. Might be tempted to play on. He's just going to go back and he's going to kick it forward. Of course, Jetta already kicking a goal in this quarter. And Campbell couldn't take the crumbs. He was the only one to keep his footing. And Campbell's going to kick right across goal here. Spinks is there and the mark wasn't taken. Spinks almost flicked it out the back. And the Swans through Membray, who ends up with it. And Membray goes around the corner, and the umpire is going to intervene here, Brett.
Take a breath, Drury. Long passages of play. It's a bit like a rally in the US Open at the moment, where they're hitting the balls back furiously as it goes from end to end, 50 to 50. A lot of work inside the forward 50 for both sides. Free kick here. It's not to Membray, so it's a free kick for holding. It's against coach Matthew Loken, I think. Yes, it is. It's against Loken. And I can't see who the recipient is out there for the Sydney Swans. But they get a chance to bring up their 14th and drive another wedge between them and Belconnen, and a goal closer to the grand final in 2013. And they have no mistake in bringing up a goal there, the Sydney Swans, courtesy of a free kick. So the Swans bring up their 14th. 14-9-93 to the Belconnen Magpies, 5-4-34.
Yeah, exciting stuff there, end-to-end, and Belconnen just not taking their opportunities. Once again, it's all too a familiar story, isn't it? The Swans, they get an opportunity and they turn it into points. So we see now the Swans with their largest lead of the match, 59 points. And we'll see in the ruck, Neesmith's back in, so Plug's going to take a rest in the ruck, and Neesmith's going to go in there against, looks like Loken it might be there, Brett.
It is Big Loken. This is how keen the Sydney Swans fans are to see Lewis Jetta out there. I've just got a tweet. For those wanting to know, so far, Jets has had 10 touches and played a bit over 40 minutes. Hasn't been dominating, but covering the ground well. So a lot riding on it as we back to the play. It's Robinson. He's been impressive out there, as you said, the 19-year-old. It's out there to Harris. What he does well. Out towards the speedster in Turnbull. Good pick up below the feet was Turnbull. Turnbull now gets it back. Have a shot at goal on son, Ryan Turnbull. He has a shot at goal. Which way will it bounce? It bounces the wrong way for the Magpies, but the right way for the Swans, only as far as the behind, and they bring it in for a behind.
Yeah, they're getting some very unlucky bounces close to goal, the Magpies, in this quarter. It's probably been the difference of a couple of goals as Spinks drops it, but great second effort, and he picks it back up, and he's going to pop a little handball over. But the Magpies going to come away with it. It's rebound footy once again. Kick forward there and a great mark. So another opportunity to set up. They've got to play on quickly here, Belconnen. They've got John Love on his own, but he's going to go longer. He's going to go beyond Harris, and there's some tussling there. And, well, It was initially Xavier Richards who got the ball, but the umpire's going to call advantage, and a great goal for Belconnen.
The boutique small forward, right on cue, Dominic Bunyan, who's doing a power of work inside the forward 50. He brings up the Magpies 6. He bridges the gap a little bit. Oh, of course, all the work to do in what they call the premiership quarter here, the third quarter. It is one-way traffic. The Sydney Swans 14-9-93, leading the Magpies 6-5-41. Hello to all those watching us live through the stream at the Kipax Magpies Sports Club. So not the best of days for the Magpies supporters, but there's still hope with a quarter and probably a little bit more to play, Drury.
Yeah, look, absolutely. You know, we're seeing two sides that have had a tremendous season, tremendous regular season, and you know, just on this occasion, Sydney coming out on top, but certainly Belconnen, they've had a fantastic season, and because of that, they will get another chance regardless of this result. And looks like we'll see Belconnen playing the winner of that match that Brett's alluded to just a couple of times in this broadcast, Ainsley and GWS, as we see an opportunity through Harper now for the Magpies. He's going to go. It's a great kick. He's kicked it forward.
And it's marked by Dess inside the forward 50. The fast leading Andrew Dess. Right on cue. Funny you should mention the Ainsley GWS. Just to score at three-quarter time, it is the Tricolours 11-11-77, leading the Giants 4-7-31. So it's anyone's game, but we'll ride this home with Andrew Dess, a super impressive half forward. Now playing deep in the goal square. Dess looking for his second for the afternoon. Does he like it, Andrew Dess? No, he doesn't. He pushes it wide, only for a minor score. So that's Belconnen's third minor for the quarter. They would love to convert them to goals, Drury.
But that was a lot better. We saw Harper, he played on straight away, and he was able to kick to advantage to Dess. They timed it beautifully, whereas we've seen a lot in this game where they're just probably hesitating, and Dess wouldn't have had that opportunity. As we see in the background, a little bit of scrap here between Curtis and Plug. The ball's going to come their way, mind you, and it's a hot footy at the moment. Porter's in there. Plug gets back up, and I think it's going to be a kick to Porter here. So Porter with Plug on the mark is going to get the ball for Belconnen. Just going to take it and reset. He's had a fantastic game so far. We mentioned Matthew Porter playing his 99th NEAFL game this afternoon as the ball comes down now to Matt Sharp. Although the Swans cut it off quickly through Armstrong. He's going to go back to Jordan Lockyer, to Jetta, and back to Armstrong. And Armstrong's going to switch it across. Harper's not going to get there, but it's not a cleanly taken possession. And Harper's going to become involved here because it was a great tackle from Drew McGrath. And Belconnen, just a few hands now. Can they get into the forward 50? They can. It's around the corner on the boot, and a great mark. Is it Dess again, Brett?
Then it is the hard-working Andrew Dess is bobbed up with some good work there from Drew McGrath inside the forward 50. A solid tackle. Got to his feet quickly and allowed Jordan Harper. So they look a little bit better. Repeat efforts from the Belconnen Magpies. Dess is kicking for goal. His second shot in a matter of minutes as they ring the changes in here. But just on Armstrong and Jetta, they've got an uncanny sense of where each other is out there on the paddock. As he likes that one, Andrew Dess. He's made up for the last one as Andrew Dess bridges the gap here at Blacktown. It is the Sydney Swans 14-9-93, leading the Magpies 7-6-48.
Yeah, they certainly do. Jetta and Armstrong, tremendous players, certainly both having fantastic games for the Swans this afternoon. And they've had a very good game defensively, the Swans. They just know where each other are at, and they're making sure they get the ball quickly. They're switching it, and they're turning defence into attack very quickly. But great goal and great passage of play the last 5 minutes for Belconnen. If they are turning it over, they're cutting it off, and they're sending it back into the forward 50.
There you have it. So they do turn defence into attack very quickly, the Swans. That's a trademark of their game. But it is Porter in the middle of the ground against Plug, and it was Porter that won that one. It's towed away by James Bennett. Bennett out there towards that of, I think it was York out there who tried to bullock his way through. It's out towards Love now. Love puts a big one down looking for the hard-working Dess, but he was just pushed under the footy, and it gives Xavier Richards a chance to take a trademark mark in the back half there. He now goes towards Lamb.
Lamb, it's 11-11 again. Lexi Bennett, the captain, and Jed Lamb. Jed Lamb's been sensational this afternoon as he kicks it long. Now, Porter's got prime position here. Plug's going to go for it, just couldn't grab it. And once again, the Magpies come away and a nice little kick forward. There was a fantastic kick from Collins, and the mark was by Chris York, who's starting to inject himself. York, he's not going to play on straight away, but a nice little short kick here. Should be marked by Harris. Is the umpire going to pay that? He's not. 50-50 won that one, but Stephen Ray got the punch, and he's put it out of bounds.
He just put a little bit too much air on it for Harris, and he really needed to lace out him there, but it was a good effort nonetheless. It's a throw-in inside the Belconnen forward 50. It's Plug doing battle with McGrath there. It's out towards Bennett. He's been worn like a glove today. They haven't allowed him any room today. Out towards the fresh man on the ground in Bunyan. He gets a second effort. Out towards the big kicker, Curtis. Curtis puts it to the top of the square. Which way will this one bounce? No, Angus Momfrey's in that one and rushes through it for a rush behind.
Yep, certainly not going to bounce goal with the way the bounces are going. Close to goal for the Magpies, but once again, they're able to push it forward. And if we look at the ground now, Brett, there's actually not one player in the Swans half. So a good sign for Belconnen, that's for sure, is Armstrong. He's told to play on. He kicks it short, and the mark taken there by Lamb. And he's probably just going to slow it up here for the Swans.
It's almost a full court press they're playing out there, Drew. It must be the instruction to play a full ground press. It's a very taxing effort to play that full ground press for a whole quarter, but obviously it's a predetermined game plan that they've come in to try and get back, and they've done quite well. They've kicked 3 goals apiece in the quarter, so they're currently winning the quarter, the Belconnen Magpies, and right on cue the Swans take it away inside the forward 50 to the danger man in Membray.
Yes, Membray with the handball away. Unfortunately, Plug and Membray just not on the same page there, and Belconnen with an opportunity, but they couldn't take it cleanly either. Now they swarm in on the Swans, Belconnen, and Porter's going to get a hand pass away, and it was put on the boot quickly by Baker. Couldn't take the mark was Donahue, and now Belconnen as they attempt to get it away. I think it was Loken. Loken kicks it long now, and a nice mark in Belconnen. Belconnen again. Pressing forward, they managed to turn that over. This is great play by them as he kicks it forward, and might be Johnny Love out there on the far side. Love with the mark. Looking at his options now, dare I say it, Brett, a couple more goals from Belconnen, and you wouldn't write them off as the opportunity now for Harris, and he kicks it forward, just not the kick he was looking for. He was trying to pick out Isaac Taylor, and the Swans are going to come away with it.
Over towards the man in a crisis, Jed Lamb. Lamb puts it down towards Browning, and I think it's Zupo out there, and it was taken away there by McGrath. He's injected himself in this quarter, but there was a poor kick looking there for Taylor. There's some of the younger kids for Belconnen looking a little bit tired as we work into 25 minutes of this third quarter. They're looking a little bit better. They're trying a little bit harder. They're not going to leave anything out there, the Magpies. You can rest assured about that as a Loken does battle there. It's Porter in the ruck there towards that of Bennett, out there towards Drew McGrath. No, it's Baker out there, and it's taken away by the Swans through Lloyd. Lloyd puts it inside the vacant forward 50 for the Swans. It's a foot race between Zupo and Browning. Who's going to win this one? It is Zupo, the number 60 for the Swans. He dribbles one through, but it's only gone as far as the boundary post, so it is out of bounds. It'll be a good result for the Swans. It allows a stoppage and a boundary line throw it inside their forward 50.
Yeah, I just like the way the Magpies are playing at the moment, and I'm sure all the supporters watching the coverage down there in Canberra certainly would, Brett. And stranger things have happened. They can get the next couple of goals, Belconnen. You never know. They will be within distance if good enough.
Absolutely. They need to get a couple, and it's a 5-goal game coming into the last quarter. It's Loken doing some bullocking work. The umpire's picked out a free kick here, and I think it's going to go to that of Jake Lloyd. I think it is. It's a free kick to Lloyd.
Let's not forget both these sides, Brett, only separated on percentage at the end of the regular season. 6%, so only a brave man would write off Belconnen.
Of course, you did tip them at the beginning of the top of the program, Drury. and let's not forget, it was a 91-point margin last time they met at the SCG, so it's a much improved performance from the Magpies, as you said, but they've been gifted with a free kick here to Lloyd. Lloyd for the Swans. Does he like this one, Jake Lloyd? You betcha. They all run to congratulate Jake Lloyd as he gets his first for the afternoon, and he gets the Swans 15th.
Yes, well, that certainly does dampen any thoughts of a comeback, that's for sure. As the margin back out to 50 points. But Certainly Belconnen showing a lot more promise in this third quarter.
I think if it was Coach Loken and there's someone gone down, Lloyd has gone down in front of the umpire, Loken just wearing him tightly. His instruction would have been to win the quarter, but it's into the middle of the ground. It's Porter going at it. Now he's calling for a shepherd in the ruck. So a couple of things going against the Belconnen. Probably a little bit overzealous at the moment at the man, the Magpies, but nonetheless, free kick to Naismith in the middle of the ground.
So Naismith now puts it on the boot short. He's looking for Lloyd. He takes on his defender in a nice short kick now as they approach the forward 50 now, the Swans. And it's going to come in for an easy mark for Membray. We've said it all too often this afternoon, but there's that man again, Membray. He's going to go short to Jed Lamb here, and a beautiful kick from Membray. Just improves the angle ever so slightly. And if there's any man who deserves a shot on goal this afternoon, it's Jed Lamb.
Yeah, Lamb's already got a couple to his name, Drury, and he just worked James Bennett, caught him napping there, just ball watching a little bit, James Bennett, and he led hard at Membray. He's caused all sorts of problems inside the forward 50 with his strong, hard leading to space. As Belconnen looking for something extra as they make a couple of quick changes. Drew McGrath comes back on for the Magpies. And it is Lamb. We ride this one home. Can't be long left. And he's missed that one as Jed Lamb. He's pushed that one wide.
So they've hit the 100 now, the Swans. 15-10, 100 to Belconnen. 7-7, 49. 51 points the margin. As we see a nice little mark there from Jack Baker. Baker's going to go back in bounds to Jensen, I think it is. And Jensen... not the greatest kick you'll ever see, because he's picked out Dan Robinson, the 19-year-old, who goes straight to Membray, and Membray put it on the boot, and there's another one for him. Tim Membray, nice work from Dan Robinson to force the turnover. Straight to Membray, and who made no mistake.
And there we talk about it, just the goals in junk time or red time. The Swans have piled on 3 goals in the last 2 or 3 minutes, right on the 29-minute mark of the third quarter. That's the difference at this AFL standard level. Of course, we've spoken about previously what the NEAFL clubs need to do to get to the AFL standard, and there it is, right there. It is just encapsulated in the last 3 minutes. 3 goals by the Sydney Swans to blow the margin right out here.
And you'd probably be safe to say they've kicked probably 4 or 5 goals in garbage time in the end of each quarter. So certainly looking at the margin now, it does make a big difference, doesn't it? We see Loken get the ball away to Porter, who puts it on the boot straight away. Just couldn't take the mark there, was Hegarty. But fortunately, they've got it away now, and they've found Harris. Harris with the long locks. He gets it back to Hegarty. Hegarty's going to pop it over the top. Sorry, it was actually Sharp who kicked to Hegarty. And the siren's going to beat them all.
There you have it. For three-quarter time, it is the Sydney Swans, 16-10, 106, 7-7, 49 to the Belconnen Magpies. Swans, 5 goals to Belconnen's 3 that quarter. We saw a little bit of promise from the Magpies there, Drury, but it was certainly extinguished by a couple of goals there in the junk time by the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, look, certainly this the common theme of the day, isn't it? Sydney Swans kicking more goals, especially when it counts towards those final moments in each quarter. So, Belconnen, we said this from the get-go, they were always going to have to take every opportunity today. And well, in fairness to them, though, they just haven't always had the bounce of the ball as well. And Sydney Swans, certainly a dominant performance for the first 3 quarters from them.
Yeah, a couple of the goal kickers there. Membray's with 4 to his name. Lamb with a couple. Towers with a couple. Singles to Jeddah. Alex Brown, Lloyd, Paris, Stevie Ray. Brad Plugg's got 1 to his name, the former Balmain product. Thomas Green with 1. And for Belconnen, well, they haven't had much joy with the multiple goal kickers. Curtis has got 1. Bennett's got 1. That's Lexi Bennett. Dess has got 1. Loken with 1. And Chris York with 1. So all the work for the Belconnen Magpies to do in the last quarter. What can they scavenge? Well, they've got 9 goals to kick to make it a contest, and hope the Swans don't kick one, Drury. But we'll be back with all the action here for the last quarter here on NEAFL.com. Of course, the winner goes through to the grand final from this second semi-final here at Blacktown.
Welcome back for the start of this final quarter here at Blacktown International Sports Park. The Sydney Swans reserves up against the Belconnen Magpies. 1-2 after the regular season as the umpire gets us underway. We're joined in the box this afternoon by the one and only Brett Davis. As the Swans come away with it, he's looking long now. I think it was for Zupo. Zupo's getting another crack at it. Membry sniffing around as well. There's a few Magpies there, though. They'll have something to say about that. And the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in.
Yes, thanks very much. Of course, Drury Forbes joining us in the broadcast for the second time in the NEAFL season. Great to have you on board, Drury. But just a couple of things. Next Saturday, 2 p.m. at Kipax for the loser, which it could possibly be, Belconnen. And if it's running true to form, it looks like Ainsley might be the victors over there. Midway through the last term, 12-13-85, the Giants 4-10-34. So could we see a rematch of last week's qualifying final between the Magpies and the Tricolours at Kipax 2 p.m. next Saturday, Drury?
Well, it's looking very likely, isn't it, Brett, as we see the Magpies clearing now. And he's going to put it on the boot and pop it forward. I think he's looking for Loken. Intercepted, though, by the Swans. And they'll break now as they get a nice clean possession to Alex Brown. And doesn't muck around with it. He goes forward. And a kick through by Armstrong, who's going to find Membray. And it's all too easy at the moment. But you did right, Brett. It is looking like an all-Canberra final next weekend, and be a rematch of last week, wouldn't it, Belconnen and Ainsley?
Yes, certainly traditional rivals of the North. They play for a trophy in the regular season. It's called Cock of the North. Belconnen holding the title. Of course, Kipax, their home ground, aptly named the Nest, but we'll ride this one home with Membray, looking for his fifth for the afternoon. Wouldn't be a bad day at the office for Tim Membray. Press his claims for senior selection as he lets that one go. He likes that one, Timmy Membray. Take a bow, Tim Membray. You've been fantastic all afternoon. He kicks his fifth and he kicks the Swans 17th.
Now, he's a lovely kick, isn't he, Membray? He really does follow through nicely. A nice run-up, looks completely confident every time he lines up for a set shot on goal, and he's been one of their best today, Membray, along with Jed Lamb. Tony Armstrong's been great. Dean Towers. And I also thought Brad Plug, the Balmain products, had a reasonably good game as well.
What he does do is he gives them a target, a tall target, and he competes fiercely against the man as well, so he's great. Membray, you'd put number 5 on his back and you'd mistake him for Ryan O'Keefe. They just breed players that are very similar type players, very solidly built, and he plays exactly like Ryan O'Keefe. So the football factory that is the Swans and the blood sculpture shining through here, evident. And as evidence last night, it's in the middle of the ground. It's taken away there by Taylor out towards the hard-working Deaths, only as far as Johnny Love. Love puts it inside the forward 50 looking for Bennett. He's had a bad day at the office as Jimmy Bennett, the raging up Mulrooney medalist favourite. And it's swept away there by Alex Brown for the Swans. He comes outside the back 50 and he's turned it over there towards Andrew Dess.
Andrew Dess now, he's been good in this second half. He's just going to centre the ball nicely now for Isaac Taylor. Taylor finds Collins, centre field, and Collins puts it on the boot forward. It's a one-on-one contest and a great mark. Fantastic mark there from Love. And that was a real good contested mark. His opponent was all over him, and John Love, he has an opportunity now for a shot on goal. Might be tempted to dish it off here, although looks like he's going to go back. No, he does dish it off, and he goes straight to Loken, who winds up on the left boot and makes no mistake. And a tremendous goal for the Belconnen Magpies.
Loken just fed off the handball. It was almost give it to me, give it to me. Love wasn't looking over it. He confident there. Love in front of Dick there, just taking a mark there. It was a good grab. He just stuck the big rump out, did Johnny Love, and he grabbed it in the breadbasket. Quick handball over to Loken, and he grabs his second for the afternoon. And the Magpies 8th. 17-10-1-12 to 8-7-55. 5 minutes gone here out at Blacktown International Sports Park. Beautiful day for football. Not a breath of wind in the air, Drury.
No, there isn't. Fantastic conditions for the players today. I'm not sure if we've got a player's comfort reading there, Brett, along with the humidity, but certainly, as we mentioned, you certainly wouldn't think it was winter, albeit the last day of winter, as the ball comes down and Armstrong's all over him. And a ball up, and Plug was in there as well. The umpire's going to bounce it. The Swans now 17-10, 1-12, leading Belconnen 8-7-55 as Towers. Will he get to the ball first? No, it was his teammate though. And the ball's going to come away now to Armstrong. Armstrong puts it on the boot. It was a nice kick forward. He's got Lloyd there. He's going to pick it up. Jinking, jiving, gets away and evades a couple of defenders. And Towers is thrown to the ground like a rag doll. But it doesn't matter because the Swans are still going to come away. And it's a nice kick forward. But there he was again. Beating Alex Brown to the ball was Johnny Love.
And it's Love in the back half there, and he puts it across to Nick Collins. Collins fends off there and goes further afield, looking down there for Taylor. It is Taylor. No, it's Taylor. He goes looking in there for Jansen, and it was punched away, but the umpire says, no, you've taken the mark there, as Jansen squeezed the ball up across to Nick Collins. Collins will go further afield to Andrew Browning. He haven't got really much ground outside that back 50 for the Belconnen Magpies as they look to switch it across. It's fraught with danger because it'll come unstuck at some stage in the process, and it's now Jansen with the decision to make. He's going to go looking long down the line, looking there from the boy from Benalla in Sharp, and he grabbed it. The umpire says no, play on. I thought that was a mark. It'll have to be holding the ball. The umpire, you betcha. Umpire Dean Matthew Geister has said holding the ball. Just a couple of updates from our Northern Conference buddies. It is a quarter time. It is the Southport Sharks leading Redland, and it is the Brisbane Lions taking on the Aspley Hornets. It is Brisbane kicking with a strong breeze, 22-10 against Aspley. So there's a mark right on cue down there to Harris, and it's a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, another 50-metre penalty, and Harris, he'll be coming straight off after that. And we will see Lloyd Paris with a relatively easy shot on goal. Put the Swans further in front. And we'll certainly try and get as many updates for you on other games from Brett as the afternoon goes on. As we see Lloyd Paris moving in. And he makes no mistake. Puts it straight between the posts. And another goal for the Sydney Swans reserves. That's Paris's first for the afternoon. It's his second. That's his second, rather. And the 18th goal for the Sydney Swans.
Just a quick one coming out of halfway through or 20 minutes into the fourth quarter out there at Ainsley Oval. It is the Tricolours, 13-13-91, leading the Giants 4-10-34. So to borrow one of your lines, the Chocolates are going to go to the Tricolours. I think we'll see the Tricolours taking on the Magpies next week in a rematch for the right to go into the grand final against the Sydney Swans. But it's back to the middle of the ground here at Blacktown. It's out towards Sharp. Sharp gets it on the left boot, puts it down there towards Loken, punched away there by Xavier Richards. He's been a tower of strength in the back half there today as Xavier Richards, as Bunyan battles manfully on the ground there. He legged him, but it was taken away by Richards in clever defensive work, and they work it out through the back 50. It's in the arms of Lloyd. Lloyd now for the Sydney Swans reserves. 18-10, 1-18 to 8-7-55 as the Swans do as they like now. They start to play with the Belconnen Magpies, and it's out there towards Paris. Paris, the 47 for the Swans. He comes inboard. Out there now making the decision for the Sydney Swans is Thomas Green. Green goes long down the line. Good grab by your man in play.
Great grab by Brad Plug. Of course, we've said it, we'll say it again, a Balmain product, and he doesn't muck around. Lloyd Paris is there, just got a terrible bounce, but Browning couldn't get it, and Paris, he's got it again. He goes forward now, and the Swans centering kick, and a great mark. A fantastic mark there to the Sydney Swans, and they'll find themselves pretty much directly in front, probably about 15 metres out from goal.
Timmy Membray lining up for his 6. He's had a day out here at Blacktown. He'll let us know if he kicks it. Don't worry about that. He likes to punch the air, Tim Membray, as he comes in directly in front. 20 metres at the top of the square. It is Membray, Timmy Membray, you betcha. That's his 6th for the afternoon, and that's the Swans' 20th. As they make their way to the season 2013 grand final, the Sydney Swans for the North Eastern Football League Grand Final. They look like they've booked a ticket there. Can they atone for last year's loss? The Sydney Swans. It is over full time. Ainsley have defeated the Giants 115, is it, to 41, or 103 to 41. So a little bit of a typographical error there from the tweet we got there. So I'll have to talk to the man at Ainsley on the ground there. Back to the middle of the ground. It is Porter against Naismith. He's a big find for the Swans. Naismith in the middle of the ground. It's out to another man that's been damaging all day in Armstrong.
Armstrong kicks it forward. There's a few players jumping at the pack there, but scooped up by the Swans just over the head of Lamb. And it's actually gone straight to Jake Lloyd. Now it goes back to Armstrong. He bullet passes it in, and it was just cut off very nicely there by Jensen. Jensen's going to look for Johnny Love, and he finds him. So Johnny Love gets it. Lockyer on the mark. Lockyer approaches. Love goes back, and the Magpies go back to go forwards. A nice mark by Curtis, who gives it straight away to Hegarty. Hegarty inside to Love, who puts it on the boot straight away. But hasn't Armstrong been fantastic today? He takes the mark. And he'll just kick it nicely, just straight to Alex Brown. And Alex Brown goes over the top now. He finds Thomas Green, who's started to become more involved in this final quarter. Just pops it up there. He couldn't take the mark, but a nice turn and swivel by Matthew Dick. And Dick puts it on the boot. Can't come down with it, the Swans. Naismith was there. Magpies are going to come away with it. Now they've got Jordan Harper all on his own, and Harper's going to take the mark.
Over to Woods. Harper at the back flank now as a poor kick as he turns it straight over there, straight down the throat of Jordan Weir. Out towards Armstrong. He's certainly put his hand up for senior selection, as has the number 11 for the Sydney Swans in Jed Lamb, the captain for today. Jed Lamb, he centres the ball in towards Membray. Another one that's put his hand up is that number 7, Timmy Membray. You betcha, out here at Blacktown. He's had a day out, the number 1 for the Sydney Swans, Tim Membray. He kicks his 7th, and he kicks the Swans 20th as they gallop away here at Blacktown in this second semi-final.
Oh, sensational by Tim Membray. He's been a revelation this afternoon, and I'm not sure what happened there. He played on straight away, so potentially the kick not going 15 there, but it didn't worry Membray. It didn't faze him at all. Straight around the corner and never looked like missing, and 7 goals for him. He's almost kicked the total score of the Belconnen side this afternoon. So that just gives you an indication of how big he's been here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Of course, Ainsley taking the victory over the Giants out there, so we won't see an all-Sydney grand final. It is the Tricolours, 15-13-103, defeating the Giants 5-11-41. So congratulations to Ainsley and coach Chris Rourke. He'd be thrilled with the Chargers, the way they bounced back after last week's defeat at the hands of the Magpies. So it'll be, it's out to Zuppo. Zuppo, the 60, he runs into an easy goal. And the Swans now start to skip away out here at Blacktown.
And even if he's not kicking them, Tim Membray, that was a fantastic little tap on. Not sure if you noticed it, Brett, but Membray smartly knew he couldn't mark it and just tapped it down to Zuppo on the run for the easy goal.
Yeah, that's all those countless hours of training. It's going to get the Swans in their second successive grand final. So obviously featuring in last year's grand final against the Queanbeyan Tigers. They didn't come away with the trophy, but nonetheless, they're playing in their second successive grand final. Of course, we need to expand that, Drury. The winners of the respective conferences from the Northern and the Eastern do get to play off in that cross-conference clash the week after their respective grand finals. So an interesting one. Will we see the Swans and the Lions again? Because the Lions are the raging favourites in the Northern Conference. Time will tell. But back to the middle of the ground, all the work to do for the Magpies. It's a don't argue from Porter as he swung kicking the ball, looking down there for Harris. And now it's out towards Loken. Loken and Richards were doing battle. He's been great today as Xavier Richards, and it's a handball out there towards Weir down now towards the Swans there in the defensive half, and it's Alex Brown. He goes long down the line towards Paris. It's their no-names that just play such an important role for the Swans. They just know their role, don't they, Drury?
Well, you've said it a few times this afternoon, Brett. It's almost like just mechanical systems going on at the Swans. I mean, where is this production line? Where are these players coming from? They know their roles so well, they know what to do, and they do it fantastically. As we see Membray put it on the boot forward, although Porter's there to clean up the scraps. He's going to handball away now to Collins. Collins with the switch on. There was pressure on, but he managed to get it away. And a nice little mark there taken by Ryan Turnbull, one of the 11 local players in this Belconnen side this afternoon. And Turnbull, he just pops it up though. He probably gave it a bit too much airtime, and the punch was there from Sydney, although the Magpies now will probably come away with this okay, and they do. Might be Bunyan there, I think it was, that kicked it forward, and Bunyan, he's kicked it quite some distance, and a little bit of a territory win there for the Magpies.
He's certainly looking for touch there. Dominic Bunyan, the former rugby league product, another one of the local juniors you mentioned. He played in Belconnen's last premiership some time ago. Of course, they haven't played finals since 2009. As it stands, at the end of this game, they'll be 1-1, and they get a chance to atone next week against Ainsley at Kipax, 2 p.m. next Saturday. Hope you can join us through neafl.com.au, and you've enjoyed the coverage today with Brett Davis and Drury Forbes. It's been our pleasure bringing it to you from Blacktown International Sports Park here in Sydney, in what's a glorious day, Drury.
Oh, it's glorious conditions out here at Blacktown, and as we see the ball in just in front of the I Love Blacktown sign, and the locals have certainly come out today to watch this one. How important, Brett, is it that Belconnen finished this game in some sort of positive fashion, particularly heading into a clash next week against Ainsley, who've just had a terrific win today?
I think it's really important for Belconnen to try and, at least win the last, 10, 12 minutes of this game, just to take something away, take a positive out of the game, and go home with at least a chance of a rematch, and start plotting what possibly could be a rematch in the grand final, Drury. So they knew they'd come up against it. Sydney, as we've spoken about, their systems and their culture is just second to none, and it's something to aspire to. But we saw what happened last year with the Tigers, and they come away with the Premiership Cup in season 2012. Is it going to be the Tricolours, or is it going to be the Magpies as a quick kick on behind there for the Magpies?
Well, Belconnen, of course, comfortable winners by 38 last week against Ainsley. Would you expect a closer match between the two sides next week?
Look, I've been a strong advocate of the Tricolours all year. When they put it together, they're a very, very good side, and obviously they put it together against the Giants today out there at Ainsley Oval. Does the home ground for Kipax give some sort of advantage to Belconnen? Maybe, maybe not, but footy grounds these days, they're all the same. They've all got 8 goalposts on them, Drury, and you've got to put them through the big ones to win the game at the end of the day, don't you? So, I think it's all here you come prepared, and it's your mental preparation these days.
Ball comes down now for Browning. It was good pressure there for Membray. I totally agree with you there, Brett. It should be an enthralling encounter next week, Ainsley versus Belconnen. Certainly what it's looking like at the moment, as we saw a nice kick there by Hegarty, but an even better mark by the Swans. Now, it's been play on here, and Harris is going to clean up the scraps and kick an opportunist goal for the Magpies, and give some joy to all the supporters watching on the big screen back in Belconnen. Brett, a fantastic goal to Harris there, and as we said, an opportunistic goal. Pounced on the ball around the corner, and he kicked it straight through.
Yeah, certainly. There was a handball over the top there. There was no way it was going there, Drury. So Shane Harris, ever the opportunist, of course. We've spoken about him a couple of times. Not a lot of footy in season 2013. A strong tackle there to Matthew Loken caused the stoppage there and the turnover. So it allowed Belconnen to get their 9th. And they've got a lot of work to do at the 18-minute mark of the fourth quarter. It's going to be the Sydney Swans in a canter here at Blacktown. 21-10-136 to the Magpies 9-8-62. I think they can start planning for next week, the Magpies, Drury. 10 minutes to go here out at Blacktown.
Yes, definitely. Certainly next week. Not next year. There's a lot to play for Belconnen, as you mentioned, Brett. And we keep saying it, but they finished the season 12-6. They had a healthy percentage. And you'd have to think that they have every reason to be confident heading into next week against Ainsley, should they lose this game, especially having beaten Ainsley by 38 last week. We say Membray again, he's already kicked 7. Will he have a crack for his 8th?
Well, he certainly puts his name up in front of the selectors for next week in that qualifying final against the Hawks in the senior side. Another guy, the bloke that kicked to him, number 19, Tony Armstrong. Is he going to make a cameo again like he did last year's final series? Tony Armstrong, he's been super impressive out here today for the Swans. His foot skills are second at none. So we ride it home with Membray. Can he kick his 8th? Well, he'll let us know. You betcha. Hey, Timmy Membray. It's marked on the line down there. I think it's Big Naismith that's just grabbed one, plucked it out of the air. I think it would have went through if it was anyone else. But Big Sam Naismith has taken that one right on the line as your man Brad Plug takes a well-earned rest on the boundary line. He taps the hand of Jordan Weir, and Naismith, he gets the Swans 22nd, and they're 6th for the quarter. So very impressive have been the Sydney Swans in progressing to the 2013 North Eastern Football League Grand Final. They're going to go through here. 80 points. You know, Belconnen to be looking to get it under what it was at the SCG, of course, a 91-point margin there earlier in the year. They've just got to keep toiling away here, and, you know, just chip away. It's, you know, they know the game's out of their reach. It's how you fight it out there.
Absolutely, and I think what we see in the next 5 to 10 minutes to finish off this game from Belconnen will probably translate into how they go next week against Ainslie in Canberra. And they certainly need to finish well here, particularly for their own confidence, so their energy is good heading into next week's game. As we see the ball come forward now for Belconnen, and just couldn't get the hands away, and Love's got the ball. He tries to evade his tackler. It's going to come out here, though, and we see the ball go forward, and a nice mark there. I hope he doesn't get called for pushing in the back, because that was just great body work. And fortunately, it is going to be a mark to young Isaac Taylor. And Taylor will have a shot here about 35 out with a slight angle. And Isaac Taylor, also one of those 11 local junior players from the Belconnen Footy Club. Actual local players representing Belconnen. Good to see. Taylor moves in. Can he kick the 10th goal for the Magpies? Yes, he can. He certainly can. Almost gave me heart palpitations there. I wasn't sure if he had kicked it, but Isaac Taylor making no mistake. And it's now the Sydney Swans 22-10, 142 to Belconnen's 10-8, 68.
That's exactly what we've been talking about, Drews. They've just got to finish the game off, and that's a nice reward for effort there for young Isaac Taylor. He can take that into next week. As you said, one that they roll out of their football factory out at Belconnen, and they're a great footy club, Belconnen. That's why they're featured in so many grand finals. 11 local juniors. They're not relying on having to buy in players from everywhere. They're developing their own. So, full credit to Belconnen. First final series since 2009. Look, a week's a long time in footy, Drury, so they get to play next week. It's the tricolours from here on in, and maybe they get a rematch against the Swans in the grand final. Back to the middle of the ground, it's Browning to do battle in the middle there with, I think it was that of Weir, but it was Browning who was the victor on this occasion, out towards Sharp, out towards the last goal kicker in Taylor. Taylor belts the ball forward now towards that of Bunyan. He's been good today in that boutique small forward role, out towards Love. Bunyan gets it back and he puts it down towards Harris, but that man, Dean Towers, he's been everywhere today. Dean Towers intercepts the mark in the back 50 for the Sydney Swans.
Towers with the short kick now. Finds his teammates. Not long to go now. Probably about 5 minutes normal time in this one. Robinson, the 19-year-old, he goes back across to Dean Towers. As Brett mentioned, Towers has been a pillar of strength this afternoon.
No puns today, Drury.
And Towers sends it up near the boundary line to find Jake Lloyd. Now Lloyd kicks it infield, and they're making easy meters here, the Swans. As the ball is kicked towards the boundary line, Membray jumps up. Could have been awarded even that one, Membray, as Robinson tries to get the handball away. He does. He finds Hochter, who went back to Lloyd. Now the ball's in pursuit here by a number of players. Luke Donahue, another local product, is the one that's going to come down with it, and the umpire wants it.
and it's down to the umpire there in umpire Langton. I thought Donahue was unlucky not to get a free kick there. It was Browning who got the tip out there towards Bunyan, but it's been that man Armstrong who gets a clever handball away across to Robinson, and it's going to beat them all over the boundary line. Boundary line throwing players looking very spent out there. A lot of humidity in the ground out here at Blacktown. Not much wind at all, so taxing for both players. The beauty of the Swans, they get a week to rest. The unlucky thing is they don't get to play any players next week because they don't have a game. It's out towards Robinson. Robinson with a quick handball over there towards Paris. Paris to that man Membray. Membray wheels around the number 1 for the Sydney Swans down there for Naismith. Too big, too strong. Sammy Naismith, he's had a great game today. In front of Jack Baker. He just come up there, he just pushed him under the footy and he was too big, too tall, too strong. Can he get his second in a matter of minutes?
Yeah, great mark there to Naismith, just rising a bit quicker than Baker did there. Bit of a mismatch, I guess, height-wise, and Naismith, well, you'd have to think he can get his second, Brett.
I'd hope so. He showed a bit out there today for the Swans. Really liked the look of him. He's competed well in the middle of the ground. He's gone forward in the latter stages of the game and he's kicked his second goal. So a great effort and a great reward for effort for Sam Naismith. Well done to him.
And I thought early Porter probably had his measure, but he's fought back well, hasn't he, Naismith? And he's played a complete game of 4 quarters and getting rewarded with a couple of late goals. Good to see.
Absolutely, and that's the difference, I guess. Porter, he probably had him and he played big minutes in the first half. Naismith had a little bit of a rest. They've given him a bit of a chop out. He goes forward, kicks a couple of goals. And, if Porter's able to do that for Belconnen, maybe you get 14, 15 goals out of the Magpies, and that's the difference. Managing.
Yes, no, certainly. Going to say Porter's 100th game next week, which will be against Ainsley. How much do you think that'll lift Belconnen?
Oh, look, he's overcome a lot of adversity in his footy career. He's had a lot of shoulder injuries, Matty Porter. He's done a lot of work to build his body up over a long period of time. He's quite a solid guy. So, full credit to Matthew Porter. He's been a long time stalwart, and he's really earned that 100th game in footy. And he's a very popular club person. Is Matty Porter. So there you have it, back into the middle of the ground. Here's another local junior in Turnbull. Turnbull out there towards Taylor. They combine now. It's out towards the runner, Hegarty. Hegarty puts it down inside the forward 50, looking for a former South Australian in Harris again. Is that Porter right on cue inside the forward 50. It went down below his knees as they take it away through Richards. Richards finds that of Paris. Paris with the ball in hand now. And look, just as they look to scout it around, it's out towards Weir in the middle of the ground with that awkward kicking style. Weir, it's like a 9-iron just chipping at it, isn't it, Jury? As we come out.
I'm not much of a golfer, Brett, unless it's the 19th, I'm afraid.
My favourite hole as well, the 19th. So it's that man Membray. Membray puts it inside the forward 50, looking for the Balmain boy in Plug, and Plug puts the hands up in the air and takes a mark right under I Love Blacktown sign. Can't be long to go. It is the Sydney Swans in a canter. 23-10, 148 to the Magpies, 10-8, 68.
Plug winds up on that left boot. He sends it forward. Where's Naismith? Naismith flies, but so do a couple of other Magpies. And it's going to be rushed through for behind, just on Bradley Plug. He certainly has come a long way, having known him at Balmain. And one other thing that I have noticed from the start of the season, now doing all his work with the Swans, is just his body. His body mass and his strength and his size. He's certainly been doing a lot of extra work with the Swans because it just really does show. And as we see, another goal here for Sydney. Oh, he's missed it.
He's let you down, Drury, as you looked away. The Swans have, in the last couple of seconds, just spoilt their perfect record. They kicked 7 straight into the last couple of shots on goal.
But Bradley Plug certainly has become such an imposing figure, and he's certainly putting that on display here this afternoon.
Absolutely. I was looking at the muscle definition in the lower parts of his legs, and it's full credit to a guy that's gone to the next level at the in that elite facility. And it's about to Sharp, the boy from Benalla. He puts it inside the forward 50 looking for Porter, but Xavier Richards, he's been almost impassable down there in the back 50. He brings it across to Zupu. Zupu for the Swans. He's going to go over the top, looking for the run of Brown. Alex Brown rarely makes a mistake. Brown out towards the man right on cue, Brad Plug. The 59, Plug Left foot, bit tight at this stage. It clean bowls Paris, and it's out towards Jansen. Jansen goes back towards Taylor for the Belconnen Magpies. Taylor in the middle of the ground goes towards Love. Sharked by Turnbull. Turnbull now with a quick turn of speed. He goes further afield looking for Curtis. Curtis will go over the top with a handball towards the run of Hegarty. Hegarty, and it takes a wicked bounce on Josh Hegarty. Hegarty goes further afield with another handball towards York. York over towards Harper. Harper now inside the forward 50 looking for Harris.
Great mark by Harris. Yep, he just beat Spinks to the ball there. I think Spinks was too busy asking Harris for his hairdresser. And Harris then, nice little kick forward from him and just improves the angle there for his teammate. And Belconnen, well, they'll be hoping, certainly the coaching staff anyway, that they can just nab a couple of late goals here, build some confidence heading into next weekend.
Andrew Dess looking for his second for the afternoon. He's tried hard, toiled hard. Andrew Dess, as he leans back on that one, that's something he needs to eradicate. He just leans back on the footy and he sprays his head, and it results in spreading it wide. He's normally a pretty good shot at goal, but it's Armstrong. He kicks, he pinpoints Lloyd. So there's the siren, Drury. It is the Sydney Swans, and they are progressing to the 2013 North Eastern Football League Grand Final with a comprehensive victory, 23-12, 150. The Belconnen Magpies 10-9-69.
Comprehensive performance this afternoon from Sydney. They really have asserted themselves now as the NEAFL Eastern Conference favourites, you'd have to say. Certainly, I think a lot of us here this afternoon thought that Belconnen had come a long way since that 91-point result at the beginning of the season. But Sydney Swans just showing their class this afternoon. Having said that, look, I think Belconnen would certainly, whilst they've got some improving to do, as I said, we know they're a good side. We know they've had a quality season. They shouldn't drop their heads. They should still have every reason to be confident heading into the Ainslie game. Absolutely.
I mean, it probably levels out a bit next week against the Tricolours at Kipax, but full credit to the Sydney Swans. They are a class above, and, we just look at some of their stars across the paddock today. Membray with 7 goals, fantastic. Some of the other stars out there for the Swans, Drury.
Jed Lamb, Tony Armstrong, Jed Lamb was great, as we said. Dean Towers was also fantastic, and Naismith, he just got better as the game went on. As for Belconnen, I thought Andrew Dess was a great presence up forward for them in patches. Certainly Matty Porter playing his 99th NEAFL game was great in the ruck, but obviously doing a lot of hard work is going to take its toll for him. And a couple of the local guys, I thought Ryan Turnbull finished the game strongly for Belconnen.
Another question for you without notice. Lewis Jetta, has he done enough to get a start next week?
Oh, look, probably a real 50-50 call, that one. I mean, I guess it just depends. It's going to depend on what Longmire wants to do in terms of his structures next week against Hawthorn. Look, they did have a good game against Hawthorn. If he's looking for that X factor, I think Lewis Jetta has done enough to be considered. I think it's going to come down to how Coach Longmire really wants to attack that game against the Hawks.
So there you have it, comprehensive victory to the Sydney Swans. They're the first team in the North Eastern Football League Grand Final. I'm Brett Davis, and joining me today was Drury Forbes from the Blacktown International Sports Ground. It is the Sydney Swans over the Belconnen Magpies, 23-12, 150. Belconnen 10-9-69. Drury, it's been great having you. Hope to see you next week, and thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Brett. It's been a pleasure.